Hey everyone. Oh, hold on. Yes. Okay. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing well.
I feel like now I can give people eye contact because before I was a little bit frazzled. And okay, so this is session number 3. I don't know if this will be the last one, but we're coming towards the end. I feel like of what we've been going over, and let's go over. Let's discuss what like the takeaways from the last session we had. I remember kind of what we discussed the last time. We were going over the points to cover with the homeowner. Mm-hmm. Uh, Anything that you can remember?
Well, yeah, we talk about how they can prepare the house to be put in the market, like repairs, paperwork, all that type of things.
How you're going to market their property.
Right.
How we, as sellers, help them to.
And then we also talked about making sure that we're showing our value. That's really what is going to help that seller to make that determination as to who is it that they're going to secure. And you want to secure that business on the spot. You need to stand out. That's super important. It's important for you to mentally go in there ready to take that listing. Okay.
Yep.
And it's all in your communication, presentation, how we present ourselves is also important. Okay. On the binder, I rewatched the last session and I did not mention the importance of the putting the name of the seller on the cover sheet of the binder. Do y'all have an idea why that's important? Like whenever you arrive to the homeowner's name,
So that it's personalized. They
Yeah.
understand that it's personalized, customized, not just a rinse and repeat type of a thing.
Exactly.
It's a done deal.
Exactly. I love that.
It's a done deal.
Exactly. Like this is set. Okay. I already have a binder ready for you. I'm ready to go.
Hey, you have to give me the listing. I've got
Yeah,
a binder. You don't see?
exactly. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's
Makes it formal, official.
yeah, a little bit subliminal, maybe a lot, but you want them to see
Right.
your readiness to make things happen.
You know,
Okay.
and also, if you ever been like gone into like where you're going to buy a car, and then I don't know if they still do this or not, but it used to be that you go in to see a salesman, and once they sit you down, they pull out their pad, and their whole sales pitch is them. All their points are they're
Yes.
writing on the pad in front of you. Numbers, anything like they don't tell you what the number is. They go, okay, I'm gonna write down the number, and then they pass it to you because psychologically, in people's minds, if it's written down, it must be true.
Mm.
That's why you salesmen use a sales pad and write down. They have written things that go along with their sales presentation as they're talking to you.
Are we recapping the last session? Because I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So question number 1, what do you do? So you're going into the listing appointment. You have the comps in the spreadsheet, what's currently on the market, what just closed,
Mm-hmm.
and you've done the Excel analysis using square footage, price per square foot,
Mhm.
right? So you have a number, or at least a fairly narrow range of what you are going to recommend as the listing price. What happens if what happens if the seller you say it's going to be 500 and the seller is saying, well, 600 is what I was thinking.
Okay.
You
So
handle that conversation?
yeah. So with that type of conversation, one, if at all possible, ask the seller to write down what he thinks, or ask him, what does he feel? You let him know you've done your market analysis and you have some information you want to share with them. Okay? You can ask them to write it down, or you can ask them, do you have a number in mind? Okay?
So we could role play. So yes, I have a number. It's 600. You know, it's much higher than the five, or you don't, maybe you didn't even tell me that
Yeah,
your
okay.
number is 500.
Mhm.
Well, I'm thinking around 600.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you would say 600,000. I'd like to go over the market analysis with you.
Okay.
So that you can see what's actually going on in the area. Okay. What's sold in the last 6 months. Okay. And then this study also includes homes that are sold, putting your house in the center, drawing a 1 mile radius around.
Mhm.
Okay. That's what usually appraisers are looking at. Later on, we'll talk about why it's important to like do things based on how the appraisers are looking at the values. Okay.
Yep.
But I'll go over this report with you so you understand that.
Yeah, all that makes sense. So we've reviewed the report. It makes sense. And yeah, maybe it's not quite 600, but I certainly don't want to leave any money on the table,
Okay.
you know. So what if it's 575?
Okay.
Not the 500 that you were suggesting,
Yes. So
being
I-
pushy. But
Right, sure.
no, and that's fine. It's important. Thank you for mentioning that, because there's different ways of pricing a home. Okay. There's some that are really, it depends on how how much risk you like to take. Okay. I would say there's probably like 3 different categories of sellers. Okay. There's the seller that could be a huge risk taker, but it's like, you know what? I'd like to price it really low and get all these buyers to come in and let it organically build. Okay. And organically determine
create a bidding war.
exactly.
Yep.
Okay. Then there's category 2,
Mhm.
the ones that they're like, okay, well, let's price it reasonably. And as we price it reasonably, then, we will get offers on the table. They will, whenever you compare it to what's out in the market, it's reasonable. But then you have sellers that, you know what, they feel like, no, I want to price it high. But there is a risk in doing that. Okay. If you price it too high, there's that risk that you may not get anyone to even come see the house.
Mhm.
Okay. What we want is as many people coming to see your house as possible. Okay. So I'm not here to determine what type of seller you are. Based on these 3 things that I've told you, where do you feel that you're most comfortable?
That's good.
Because
So I did-
ultimately, I mean, it will be the seller who said, okay, that's the price that I want to.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
And
We
let me tell
suggest, but,
you, Mr. Sangvi, I do not make decisions for you. I'm here to help provide you with the insight that you need so that you can make the most informed decision possible. Okay? If you have questions, I'm the person to ask. Okay? If I don't have that specific answer to your question, give me some time and I will figure it out, or I'll find out, get that information for you.
Yeah. And I was listening to like watching some YouTube videos the last couple of days. And one of the things that was also mentioned was, we can certainly start by pricing it high, but very often this, because they get very little interest or not enough interest or offers at the higher price point, you want to be ready to, are you going to be ready to take a price decrease, in 30 days or 45 days when the property is still not sold at that time?
It's interesting that you would say that, because
You don't want to say that?
it's important. It's interesting that you would say that, because that is doable, but time is of the essence.
Yes.
Okay. And people's perception of your property, it can be
Changes the
affected
longer.
based on how much time you have it on the market. And those houses that sell rapidly, the impression is like, wow, that house had to have been awesome.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
and
gone
I
very
would say that when it comes to, go ahead.
No, that was like, my question was like, when a seller decrease, when you see a property, is what we see when we're gonna show a property to a buyer. like, okay, this property has been in the market for like almost a month,
Yes.
and the price has decreased. So, I mean, I think that is for the sellers is not a good.
It's not necessarily something positive.
It's not positive. Is what I wanted to say.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
necessarily
Yeah,
positive.
I think that it's more important to price correctly than to try to maximize your initial. It's important to price properly, because when it comes to listing services, you only get one chance to premiere that whatever, because when you put it on the FMLS, it's sort of, it's new listing, whatever.
Right.
If you reduce it, it's just a price change, and
Right.
to a lot of people, a price change is blood in the water, just like a shark.
Right.
No matter what the reason is.
Right.
They're like if it's priced properly, or even a little lower than what you might think it should be, and they drive up and they see other people looking at the house, you're more likely for them to put their best offer in.
Right.
If you price it too high, and
You
you don't have a situation where buyers see other buyers looking at it, or they don't see that there's activity, they're more likely to try to lowball you, or what, it's all their perception. If they perceive that somebody else wants the house, they're more likely to not mess around.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That was
all
helpful.
all price reductions are recorded in FMLS. So all they got to do is look, they can see it.
The second thing. That was very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, good.
The second thing, and this is real case. My wife and I bought a house last year,
Mhm.
around this time. Our house is the last house in the subdivision, and literally the next house, our neighbor on one side, is in another subdivision. There's a street that connects both subdivisions.
Mhm.
Our subdivision has nice houses. The other subdivision has nice houses.
Mhm.
If you were to drive, there are two exits, right? One from our subdivision,
Mhm.
the other one from the other. So
Mhm.
we drive through both subdivisions all the time.
Mhm.
When I drive through, there's no noticeable difference in terms of the size of homes, quality of homes,
Mhm.
basically the type of person living in these homes. When properties go on market, the other subdivision, it's
More expensive.
$200,000 to $300,000 more
What?
for a 5,000 square foot house than the
Yeah.
subdivision. Yes,
Oh,
yes, and I'm not kidding. Like
It's two different cities or not? It's the same
you're right
No.
next door. You're right next.
literally, like next door. Like, and
And HOA is totally different too.
both reasonable HOAs. Like, you get a pool in both, and it's roughly $1,000 a year for HOA. And you've seen our neighborhood. Well, I don't know. Depends on which side you came in
Yeah.
from, because then you saw the other neighborhood. But
Mhm.
both neighborhoods are the same.
Is that weird?
That is
So-
it's weird, but we have something similar, but not exactly.
So the CMA that you did would capture. Literally, there's a house that sold about a month ago that sold for 1.2.
In yours or
No, the other neighborhood. I wish it was my neighborhood. I'm drooling. So that's the question.
Mhm.
Why? So that number one would not be captured in the CMA. Oh, I'm sorry. It would be captured in the
If
CMA,
you
but
take in consideration the neighborhood.
So let me say this to you.
but if
when
it's a
you-
square,
when you
or
pick
if
the-
it's
Okay.
around
Right.
why
Yes.
doesn't
it
Well,
will be in there, and it will affect it, and that will drive up the price. But
yeah, what I want to tell you is this. The appraiser is going to look at your neighborhood as the priority. In his priority list,
He's gonna look at other houses in your
in the neighborhood first,
in your subdivision, like
Right.
the official whatever. Even
I
if
get
that
that.
one's right next door. So
Right.
yeah, so
okay.
that is weird. That's strange.
And as the agent, I'm always looking out for my seller.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
I'm gonna try to get you top dollar. I'm gonna do my very best.
Yep.
Okay. And you know, if the other neighborhood is beneficial, okay. Yes, my report's going to show the name of the subdivision, okay. I'm going to make sure that I keep some homes, you know, whatever is most beneficial
Yep.
for you in that report. I have to make sure that I include some stuff from the subdivision, okay.
Okay.
But I'm also going to show, hey, not even 0.1 miles away from my house, this other
Hmm.
house,
To whom will you show that? Certainly the appraiser, yes.
to the appraiser.
But
To the
What, how,
seller?
but yeah, in the CMA, would you include that or not?
Oh, in the CMA, I'll include it, but I'll have to talk to the seller and tell the seller, look, hey, Mr. Sandy, this is a weird situation you have here in this neighborhood
It's a big difference between, it's a big difference money.
in price.
Oh yeah, it is a huge,
You
yeah.
said 200,000, right? Was that what you said?
Yeah.
So weird.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah.
So I would be having a conversation with you and I'd let you know, look, hey, Mr. Sandy, this is like a really weird situation. And I have a feeling you know about this, okay? In your subdivision, these are the sale prices, okay? The neighboring subdivision is this. You know, this is real, we're really at the mercy of the appraiser,
Mhm.
okay? And according to my studies, in my opinion, I would feel comfortable knowing what I know about your house, knowing that you have renovated the house, you've done this, you've done that, you've done the other, okay? I've looked at homes both in your subdivision and in the neighboring subdivision, okay? And what I've been able to find are homes that are very similar to yours in square footage and in upgrades and this, that, and the other. And in my opinion, this is where I feel we could potentially be. This is not 100% sure, like that you're going to get this amount because you're in such a strange situation. But I would like to hear what your thoughts are on it. Okay. I'm going to fight for you to get as much money as possible. You know, it's all really about presentation. And Ambrish, you know this because when you were shopping for a house, you knew which houses are like, I want to put an offer on this. Okay. So I feel, and this is just based on my experience, we've listed many homes that our our listing was the highest sale in the subdivision. Why? Because of its presentation. You know, so when that seller really goes above and beyond and presents that house properly and amazingly, then I would really push it. And I would have my list of all the things that that seller did to that house. New flooring, new paint, new granite, new updated bathrooms, updated kitchen, you know, new roof, new HVAC, new. I have the whole list.
Okay.
So that's really how I do that. And the conversation that I have with the appraiser, like what I prepare in my market analysis is not like, oh, okay, let me just give this to the appraiser. No. Okay. Once we're under contract, I'm looking at okay, that's the next thing I need to do is I need to go and start looking at my market analysis and start hiding the things that are not to the benefit of my seller.
When you're talking to the appraiser.
No, before I talk to the appraiser, like it goes under contract.
Mhm.
My next homework is, okay, let me clean up my CMA. Okay,
To make it, to get it ready to show to the appraiser.
exactly.
Yes, got it.
Okay,
Because you're trying to push the price as high as possible to the appraiser.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I had multiple offers that came in, I have it all documented. I have it all organized in my computer. The appraiser's never going to want to see it. Okay. But I have it ready in case somebody wants the evidence.
Right.
So I have both my CMA and I have all these other offers.
Yep.
And if I have not just multiple offers, but I have like a backup offer on the table, I let them know. And by the way, I have a backup offer just waiting.
Yep.
Okay. to move on this.
Have you ever gotten an appraisal done to find out what the price, like what the listing price? could
If it's
be?
really weird, yes.
Because
if it's
in
really
that
weird,
case, because
yes.
now that I think about it, our house was when we bought, it was listed for 850. We won it with an escalation clause, and it went to 880. That's where we bought it. It appraised for 905 because the neighborhood next door and a couple of neighborhoods across the street on the main road that are, same square footage house, $300,000 more. And actually next door too.
And if there hasn't been any sales in your subdivision, and what you have are the comps in the next door neighbors,
That's a good thing.
it's an
But there
awesome thing.
were, but it was still, appraised 25K over our offer and 55,000 over the list price.
Right.
So would you ever get, like, in a scenario like that, would you do an appraisal to figure out the listing price?
If I'm really struggling, then yes. Okay.
'Cause
But
it's
just
a
remember,
big range.
yeah, but just remember this, that the mortgage company is not going to hire the same
I
appraiser.
understand. Yep.
You know what I mean?
And to the same appraiser, if he might do the analysis 2 different days, he's going to come up with 2 different answers.
Exactly. Because it's just their opinion. Okay.
Agreed.
And then I would in my market analysis, let them know that appraisal was done and it was appraised at, I'd put,
If you had the appraisal done before.
if I had the appraisal done before,
Okay.
I would somehow, I don't want to maybe not say how much it appraised for. Okay. But make the appraiser know that it appraised for higher than or whatever. Okay. If you need to see the appraisal report, I have it available for you to
Right.
look at.
Right.
Kind of thing.
So that you don't draw them down, but you tell them, hey, you better appraise it for at least, I guess, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. Most agents, I'm going to say most because a lot of them do not do it, do not share any of the comps they used in pricing the house with the appraiser. And then
How much access do you have to the appraiser?
the appraiser calls you as a listing agent
Oh, okay.
to make
Every
the
time?
appointment. To
Yeah.
make the appointment.
Oh,
Because
got
you
it.
have to,
Okay.
yeah,
So,
schedule the appointment with the
while you
seller.
have them on the phone,
Say, by the way, I'm gonna
hey,
leave my CMA on the.
either
counter.
that, but I just ask them, hey, can I get your email?
Right.
And you
Just
said it.
send it to 'em.
Okay. And then I say, okay, look, I asked you for the email address because I'm going to send you the comps that that we used in pricing. Oh, that'd be great.
And you ensure that those are carefully selected to prop up
Right.
the
Yeah.
price of the property.
Mhm.
We're
Okay.
not gonna include the bad
And
ones.
you that's why as soon as it goes under contract, because I'm in a different space,
Yeah,
mental space,
makes sense.
I start
better.
analyzing at that point and try to make it ready so that whenever the
Yeah,
appraiser
just
calls,
doing homework.
immediately,
Yeah, you already have
send
it
it.
ready. Yeah.
because whenever the appraiser's calling is not, I mean, not that it hasn't happened to me. It's happened to me
You
that
know the appraiser's going to call.
he's going to
Just
call.
have your stuff ready.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Mhm. So, and the
And
faster
it
you
just
get
moves it along faster.
yeah,
Right. That's
because
easy.
what you want is you want him to get it before he goes, so he could take the report with him.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All
I
righty.
think we've only had one that said he didn't want it. Maybe one.
Yeah.
And
That
then,
he did not want
Did
that
not want
data.
it.
oh, yeah, I mean, I don't know what he, but I've only had one and all the years been doing this.
Can I
I've
see
only
your
had
phone?
one.
Your
What?
phone? Can I see your phone? Okay. All right. So
Sorry, that was
no, that's okay. Yeah. Was that
things
helpful?
it was, yeah, very
Yeah.
helpful.
Okay. So what I want to do is I want to share my screen and did you say something?
Where's your phone?
It's inside the office because nobody else was online and it kept asking me if I wanted to continue the session. If we don't have at least one person on it, connected,
Oh,
then
Regina was just there.
she was.
Yeah, Key,
What happened?
I'm here.
Entire screen.
Yeah.
Is she there? Oh,
She now raised her hand. She had a question.
okay. But
What's
she,
it?
I don't know if she can because
Oh.
she's not connected. Gina, if you hear us, can you please, if you hear us, can you please put a message? Type a message.
Thumbs up or something.
What?
Do a thumbs up or something.
She
She
raised
raised
her
her
hand.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Gina is there. So
She's
she's
there.
connected.
Where's the messages? Which one's the messages?
They are next to the, yeah.
Tell her to type in.
Yeah. Okay,
She's
okay. Gina, did you have a question?
Type it in.
Type your message. Okay, all right. Thanks, Gina. All right, so I want us to go over this market analysis, okay? This is what we had pulled together the other day, and geez, I still can't see it. Oh, my eyes are so not so great. Okay, so, oh, this is not the one. I'm so sorry. This is not the right one. I want this is the one that I got up. Okay, so this is the information we pulled the last time. And so whenever we did the market analysis, we put in the address into the field for the map search. Okay. And what we did was we selected the ones, if I'm not mistaken, we selected the ones that were ranch style homes. And that's what we included in this report. So I'm going to copy this so we can look at it. And I'm going to paste it in here. Okay. So these
You were
are
taking
all the,
notes last time.
yes, I got something.
so, and it's also on the video link. So,
Yeah, and I think I shared with you.
Yeah, I have it here.
Okay.
mhm.
I was just, oh, okay. Are you?
No, this is something that I got.
Okay. So let me double check.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were adding.
Okay. So the notes that I have, it was on Daniela's
Mhm.
Gmail account, and she sent me her logon ID and password. So when we take our break, I will share it.
Okay.
This one.
Okay, so ranch style home, ranch, 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 ranch.
Yeah, so we eliminate something that is not
Mm-hmm.
similar to the one we
Yeah.
listed.
Mm-hmm. So, that was one thing. So the other thing is that this house does not have a basement. Okay, this subject house does not have a basement. So really the ones that stand out are really these.
The one with no base. Or cross base could be,
Yeah.
could be included.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make this green a little bit greener so that it stands out a little bit more. Okay. Let me do that like that. Okay. And what else? Let's see here. 1988. Yeah, this is all okay to use. Let's see, Landings River. Oh, look at this. This is in the same subdivision. So we need to make that stand out. Okay, and it was built in the same year.
But the price is so off.
Let's see. Yeah, because it has a basement. That's the thing. This has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Half baths. Okay, so these are all. So I'm just trying to see if I find some patterns in here.
Does it seem like that second one?
This
has a-
one here?
Yeah, bath. It's a studded basement.
Yeah. The thing is this.
I'm sorry, stubbed basement,
Stubbed.
but that's it, right? It's not a finished basement. Do you think they included?
No, it says here. I'm sorry. I have it clicked here,
Yeah,
And up
finished bath.
here.
Yep. It says finished bath, I
Mhm.
guess downstairs,
Mm-hmm,
but that's it.
mm-hmm,
Not a full finished basement.
yeah, but
Do you think they included the basement square foot in the square footage, even though it's not finished?
so when we go
Because look at the
into,
square footage, $119 per square foot
mm-hmm,
versus $200.
yeah, whenever you're in FMLS, that's Hollywood Drive, 1880. Oh, that was it. Hollywood Drive. Okay, this one is the one in the same subdivision. And when you click over here, the tax ID, it'll take you to the tax record.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then here,
$392.
do you see the here?
Yeah.
Okay. So based on the tax record, they have it documented as 4,292 square feet, and MLS has it at 3,892. Mm-hmm. And then ground floor area.
But that difference is the 400 garage. If you look to the right,
Mm-hmm. There it is.
so because it's gross area.
Yeah.
So
So-
ground floor 1958. Got it.
Yeah. So it seems like they must be, where's the basement square footage? Here it is.
So 1934.
Yeah. So it seems like
Yeah.
they have added it together.
Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you something.
Oh, but it says finished basement area. That's why they've added it.
Probably so, but you don't, I'm gonna tell you, don't go by, I don't necessarily trust this, okay? Because it's just depending on how the county decides they want to do it. Our house is a ranch style house, and the county wants to charge us for the main level and the basement too. Okay, so it puts it as 5,000 square feet.
Is the basement finished?
It's finished. It's finished, but there's a bunch of houses in our neighborhood. Same situation. Okay. We've gone to the county and fought it. We're like, okay, whatever. This is a losing battle.
Sometimes you find out
Of
that
course.
there's sections of the house from the outside, because all they're doing is taking a picture from the outside, making an assessment. You may have window, like
Well, yeah,
the
this-
windows at the top, like, you know,
This
there
happens.
are windows at the top, our house.
Fake.
Well,
Yeah,
they're there, but it's just going into an empty attic. And so they've got it counted as square footage.
They had it counted for us, and we were paying taxes based on that. And then they're like, well, but you have a finished attic. I said, really? Really? Okay, why don't y'all come over and show me this finished attic that you say that we have? Okay. And anyways, we still, they gave us pennies, like
Yeah. but
Credit,
it's not-
but it was so not worth it. Anyway, so yeah, so that's what it is
Do
with
we
this.
take in consideration also the backyard space, the acreage?
It depends. If it has a lot of acreage, then
The city versus-
yeah. So it just depends on what you see is the important part. If this is a house with acreage, then you want to highlight acreage and you want to look for similar properties and see if you can use that as your basis.
In this case, are all similar.
Yeah. So this is definitely going to be in the report because that's the only one that's in the same subdivision. I'll include it. Okay. But really for pricing, I'm going to be
Yes.
basing it on these. And on these. Okay. And let me see here. Is that 55, 355,
355.
339 and 335? Okay.
381 is the first.
Okay, and then this is 1746, 1756. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do really quick. I'm gonna sort it by square footage. Okay. I have it selected. I already selected the rows that I want to sort. So I go to data, sort range, advanced range sorting options. I don't select that. Don't select that. I select column O. And I want it Z to A. I want to see the largest to smallest. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. So it's now sorted.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the next thing is this. I'm looking at, okay, so this house is larger than all of these.
Just
Mhm.
directly coming to the top of the price.
Mm-hmm. And this number here to the right is not what it sold for. This is not what it
That's
sold for.
estimate.
That's our calculation.
Oh, that's not,
Based
okay,
on
yeah,
the
sold
square
is the
footage.
comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's here.
Okay.
Okay. So we're looking at these numbers here. None of these are in the 400s. None of them are in the 400s. Okay. But let's see what these houses look like, these specific houses.
Mhm. How is how our house look like?
Okay, so our listing is
Do we
a
have
home.
anything? Is that the old couple?
Yeah, it's an older couple. Mm-hmm.
Have you already done the listing appointment with them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're Spanish speaking clients, and they said that they had wood floors, but
It's not
they're
wood.
they're
Oh,
not. It's not wood. It's like
it's
laminate
that,
floors.
yeah.
Okay, the kitchen. There was some sort of a laminate floor,
It's
and
separated. Okay.
and what's the name of that black tape? Or not the I don't remember if it was a black tape or that kind of tape that is like
Flexible
really
tape?
heavy, like silverish color, and it has
What,
like
duct tape?
duct tape. Toot. Just duct tape going down the like from the wall.
Lovely.
Okay. This is but the layout of the house, very unique. Like, oh, if this house are fixed up nice, you know, this could be really awesome. Okay. When you walk into from the front door to the right hand side, there's like a like a um a formal living room, or could be an office or something. And then there's like a hallway with the 2 secondary bedrooms on this side. The master bedrooms on the other side.
Nice too.
And then if you're back to the front door, it goes into like the family room. It's a nice size family room. And then the ceilings are like vaulted ceilings with 2 skylights. So the sun comes in, which is something, in my opinion, really attractive. Mhm. The kitchen, the bedroom is over this side. Okay. There's a wall on that side. And then on this side is the kitchen garage area. And then the dining room is over here. Okay. The kitchen has a breakfast area. That's where it has that duct tape is over there. But the kitchen is like over here. And then it has like a peninsula, not an island, but a peninsula. So it's like the cabinets, and then, okay. And it's open to the breakfast area. So it's nice. Like, this could be a really awesome house fixed up. Has potential, but certainly dated.
Okay, so let's look how this looks. All the curtains. Carpet.
I would say that this could be comparable.
You can tell that Latin American people live in this house because of how high the
This is
frames
on
are. On
video.
this. Okay, I'm sorry.
How high the water?
The frames are. on the wall.
Oh, can I
I
say,
didn't see the flag.
is that a thing?
Mhm.
Is that Jesus Christ there or what?
Oh,
We
That
have,
too.
I don't know. I would say they're Americans, all type of Americans.
did they?
Yes, or yeah. I don't
I was
never,
Spanish.
like in the dining room.
I don't
In the
think
dining room
they're
for the help.
You see the plants? Yeah. Yeah.
Spanish.
What I was thinking was it's an Indian.
Okay,
older
well maybe
Indian-
just
What?
me.
older Indian couple.
Well, maybe yeah. It's
Maybe we
Maybe it's
all
not-
have
it's
things in
not
common.
the, not the
So it's-
zebra. Yeah, we all have. Poor taste is something that goes across cultures. It's not Indian family because they wouldn't have zebra
Nah, they're not
print.
Spanish.
Or the animals.
The
like that.
chilos there.
Mm. Yeah, I would say that
Ooh.
this is,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is,
Yeah, this is not a.
yeah. No, okay, I think it's, okay, yeah.
Caribbean-
Another, yeah,
Caribbean family.
yeah, I would say, yeah, yeah, exactly. Hmm. Okay, so I would say that this is comparable, except that, our clients don't have carpet in the
Okay,
house, okay?
which is good.
So this is one that could be comparable. This one here. And the siding on their house, if I'm not mistaken, I think is vinyl siding.
And the backyard is nice.
The backyard, it's kind of on a corner.
Mm.
So it doesn't have that much of a backyard. So somebody that doesn't want to have to deal with too much.
That's how it.
Yeah, this is comparable, but look, the floors are good. Yeah, this is comparable too. Yeah, all this.
Very outdated too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
this was the 364.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most expensive.
This one is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the most, a
It's
little
nice,
more updated.
updated, yeah. Floors and bathroom better.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I hate the white ceramic.
Huh?
Oh,
And then you have this one here.
that's very Hispanic. I don't know why they put white floors on the kitchen.
no.
I hate that.
Oh,
Tiles.
Yeah, the tiles, yeah.
oh, there are pictures in here. I was like, there's no pictures. Okay. Oh, that feels so flipped. Anyways. Okay.
It looks nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They did something to the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh
Mhm.
paint. Fresh floors.
Mhm.
And the floors, yeah.
So, okay, that's what we have in the comps, right? So according to what we have here, it's saying that it's somewhere in this range, 378 to 471.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's not going to be 471 if this other house in the same subdivision that has a basement sold at 465. So that's definitely not. Can I? Let's see. Let me see if I can do this. Okay. Okay. 450,
Yeah,
you
for,
know,
for like an average, I calculated 352.
352. Okay.
Average of what?
Average of those four taken, those four.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's
Three.
the average price. 352 something.
Oh, of the four
Of
sold
the
prices.
four, yes,
Yeah.
those,
Of this, or you're saying
No,
of
no, no.
this?
The one that
Hold on,
doesn't-
Okay.
the sold price.
Hold on, man.
Okay. All right. So we looked at that. For sure, it cannot be 471. For sure.
Why is that again?
Because
this
it
the
doesn't have
nicest-
a basement. Look at this one. This sold for
Right,
465.
that's this,
That
yeah.
has a basement. This one has a basement
Hmm.
in the same subdivision.
Right.
It's not going to sell for 471. Okay. In fact, it can't. let's look at the,
And the
It's a
subject
four-bedroom,
The
it's
subject
four
property does
bedrooms.
not have a basement.
does not have a basement.
And then-
Has a basement? Like
No.
has an unfinished basement or
No,
nothing?
nothing.
Oh,
There's no possibility of putting a basement there.
got it.
And the one with basement is 4 bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, for sure for the
Mhm.
basement.
So, in my opinion, we don't need to be even coming close. If it's 465, not, we cannot go past that. And you have to think about it. Whenever you're looking at new construction, I can only think about it like many years ago. Okay, like a house with a basement versus a house without a basement. Well, how much is the difference? Okay, it may be different now. Okay, but it used to be like, you need to add another.
50,000?
No, well, before I used to like add like 20,000 or 30,000 or something like that. Okay,
But now,
it could be. I mean, it just depends. I don't know.
Right.
It just depends. You have to kind of think. If you're a buyer, and you had the option of choosing a house with a basement versus a house without a basement, are you willing to pay $20,000 more for it to have the basement or not? Kind of type thing. Okay, so let's go here and see what else we have. This is the competition, and this is what is under contract right now. Is there anything in that same subdivision, landings at River? No, there's nothing else. Let's look at the competition. Let's see what is out there. Okay.
This other one, the competition is, clarify me on that.
Competition means whenever you have it on the market,
Uh-huh.
you're competing against them. So that's what's active.
Okay,
You're not
also
com-
the active. The
Yeah.
active one.
Because it's under contract, you're not competing against them anymore. They already are
Right.
winning.
So the ones active are the competition. Okay.
Mhm.
So
So
they already have the price.
they already have
set.
they have somebody that locked in that off that house. So let's see what happened. Oh, look at this. This one withdrew. So that kind of is out of the running. Okay. But it was 435. Let's still look at it. 415, they withdrew that.
And it
Wow.
looks like you have a basement.
It looks updated.
Yeah, it was a basement. Very nice. I was there. I
Mhm.
wouldn't sell that.
Look pretty good.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I wouldn't even touch 400. Like not 415. Like I'm like, ooh, that's
That's beautiful. Yeah.
even though they withdrew it. I mean, they withdrew it, so it doesn't really count. But look at that.
This is
that's
withdrawn?
really, yeah. hmm
This is a flip.
Very nice.
Either that or they're thinking about bringing it back on the market for a higher price. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have 369.9.
Temporary hold. Maybe they are.
Is this
maybe
here
sell-
the little clock? Is that a clock? What I've selected?
Listing history,
Yes.
yes.
This is where we can see what's going on. I want to see.
yeah.
Oh, look. So they started 379 and they had to bring it down to 369.9. And they to put it on hold. They're doing something to the house. They're doing some renovations or something. They must have like,
Some issue that they're trying to fix to get more people to actually say
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So it's on the market for 4 weeks.
Let's look at this other one again and see. Tell me if this is the
Yep,
history.
Yes, yep.
New listing. Okay, they put it back on the market.
It was withdrawn. It went from
Oh, look.
435 to 415.
Interesting. And then they withdrew it.
So
They started. When is this? What is this?
that's also withdrawn. Oh, that was
When?
January 10th. They listed it
Oh, they had another agent.
and then it didn't sell and it was withdrawn 3 months later. So April 9th, probably a 90-day agreement.
How was it? This is before? I can't see.
It's 2010.
Okay, before they renovated. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, these people, this is probably the agent helped them. Was it the paid agent? No, it's not the agent that helped them buy. I don't know what happened. So they wanted to ask for a lot of money and that didn't work out. So they're probably looking for another agent.
No, it's the same agency.
Oh, new late. Oh, here it is.
Oh, yeah. The newest one is a different one, but these
This-
two were the same.
Yeah, but this one here.
Yeah.
Where the one that-
2010 was a different agent. Yeah.
Oh, never mind. This is the listing agent, so we don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the January and then the May listings,
Yeah,
it's the same company because it's
Mhm.
L. Christie and C. Huff.
yeah. You're right. Okay, so it's active
So
at
it started at
400,000.
440, then it went to 430, then it went to 420. then
Oh, so
they
it was
brought
withdrawn,
back.
but we are not looking at it because we selected this. You see,
Oh, yeah, instead of the top one. So
And
it's
Chris-
on the market right now at 400.
yeah, let's take a look at,
No, the top, right?
yeah, but let me see who the brokerage is here.
Engel and
Engel.
Volkers.
Engel.
Atlanta.
No.
This
Oh,
is
I picked the
Western.
wrong one. Did I pick the wrong one?
No, I don't think you clicked on it.
Okay, let's go history.
Yep,
That's it?
Yep.
And then that's the active one. Active?
Yep.
Who is it? No, it's a different
Asian
brokerage.
Sam Clark, Keller Williams.
Mhm. Different brokerage.
Can you
Okay.
scroll up?
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say scroll up. What's the private comment say? Price reduction for quick sale. Okay, it's an investor owned. Vacant now, but potential tenant identified. Okay.
Okay. So we saw that. Okay. 369 is temporary off the market. It's a smaller house. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, it has a bonus upstairs. It seems so dark.
Yeah, because I chose.
And they didn't get a professional photographer.
And they also didn't try to
Do
brighten
it.
it. Yeah. Just temporarily off market.
And then this one here. Okay. This looks good.
Looks better on the out and inside it does on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah. And it has a basement.
It looked kind of odd on the
Yeah,
outside.
Yeah.
because on the inside it's fresh paint and
Yeah.
new
Outside
floors.
is like,
so-
it's an odd design.
This is
It's
400,000.
400.
We can't touch 400.
Right, because this one has a basement, right?
And it has a basement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be touching 400. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. I wouldn't be touching 400. And it needs, yeah. We're in the threes.
Which one was that one? The one that was sold that night?
Which one? This one?
Yes. Just to remember. Okay. That one.
You guys want to know the answer?
Yeah.
What?
What do you think? You have a feeling, or what?
Oh, I checked the records.
Oh, okay. What does it say?
You were correct.
352.
No.
Oh, the
no.
average.
The other question that we were all guessing.
The hood people. Or
What part of the world?
oh, okay. Well, okay.
No, you were correct.
What did I say?
Maria Bonilla.
Oh, they're Spanish. Wait, no, that was Eric.
That was me. I just.
Oh, was it
Eric. That was Eric.
Oh yeah, that's
I,
it. Yeah,
I just, I just meant because of how high
Yeah.
frames are
Yeah.
like, to the ceiling.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I thought you had said that.
Yeah.
I thought it was American because.
No, because
there's
Eric always
there's
hears
no
me.
La Virgen de Guadalupe
No, because
pictures
the
or
pictures, look
anything.
at how high they have the
How
mirror.
high it is
Yes.
to the ceiling. That's what I was
It's what they
going.
do.
Is that a
I
thing?
don't know.
Yes. Yeah. 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 So
Oh, that's 349. Okay.
it started at 349, but it sold at 339.
339.
Okay. So,
With 3,000 doors closing.
uh-huh. Okay. And then now what we have to do is we need to look at
It
what
was under
is
contract.
under contract, or whenever we were looking at that, whenever we did this. Some of these may already close. This one closed at 345. 435. 435.
Oh, that's high.
But look, they start at 465.
But it's 4 bedroom. One more bedroom, so I guess
Yeah.
it's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So,
bigger, yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm. So this sold at 435. Let's see here. At 435. Okay, and it does not have a basement. Let's see what it looks like. It's there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Oh, it's a newer.
that's nice.
It's very nice.
Flat backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, this is a new.
Yeah. This is, mm-hmm.
And it has that, it seems to be like the attic room, the bonus
Yeah,
room.
mm-hmm.
It's not like that one. I
No.
would replace it.
Mm-mm.
It's-
So,
This one here is active under contract, 369, 2,094. How many do we have?
bigger too.
Pretty.
Okay, it's similar.
It is,
It's similar. Mm-hmm. Okay,
okay.
369. Okay. But we don't know if it's gonna close at that amount. Oh, sorry.
Folders or
I have a feeling. Oh, okay.
oh, carpet's terrible
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Actually.
Okay, but you know what?
It's
You know
similar.
what? See, it's like that, like the kitchen. This is what I mean, like this. It has that
Yeah.
kitchen like this. Okay. But if you look at it and you think about it, like this house has potential. Like
Oh, yeah.
you think
Change
about
the
it.
floor, you remove the wallpaper, put a new
Only
paint on.
eliminated the wallpaper has.
Just taking out the loudness. Yeah,
Nice light.
yeah, exactly.
Floor
Take
seems
the-
nice.
Take this out of the kitchen. You don't
There's no
have
real
fans
roof.
A
and
fan in the kitchen.
there's probably no
I have a fan in the
exhaust.
kitchen, but, oh, my house is
There's
old.
probably no exhaust. That's probably why they have it there.
Yeah, because there's a microwave going. so
Yeah,
they-
they need to get an exhaust put in. Yeah, this is very comparable.
Ooh.
This
It's
is very comparable.
362.
Listed. Mm-hmm.
So all the carpet needs to be replaced and
Yeah,
the
and-
wallpaper.
Yeah,
so
take it.
paint.
That's a lot. That you think that it's not a lot taking
it's
down
a-
wallpaper.
It is costly, right?
It's just
Labor.
labor.
It's,
Yeah,
it's laborious. Yeah.
It's like-
Now.
You can paint. wallpaper?
yeah, but it's. I don't know if it's
Yeah, I
gonna
would-
look the same.
It's not gonna look good.
To me, I'm
Yeah.
like,
If
no,
I saw
take
that,
it
if I saw
down.
that, I'd be like, okay, I'm operating like less for this because I'm gonna have to take this down
Oh.
eventually.
Okay. So to me, this is comparable, but we don't know that it's going to sell for that amount. Okay. Let's see how long it's been on the market. 11 days.
Oh, can you look at history?
It's nice. I think it has a basement, right? Oh, look.
Where's this one?
Okay.
Nice.
Granite countertops, OBP trims.
I don't understand this. I don't understand. Like, I would have, yeah, I don't get this. Like,
What?
You don't get what?
putting this bar like this
Because
Nobody's gonna sit, no, there's not enough space to put your knees under there.
It doesn't come out far enough.
Yeah,
Well, maybe, yeah, no.
Yeah,
You
it needs,
know?
it needs to come out on all sides so people can pull up to it.
Well, they just, so they just grab coffee, something like go. It's like no breakfast area anymore.
I'm
There's
like,
not enough
That's-
space to put stools
Stools.
there because you. can't
Yeah.
really walk through it. That's
anyways, that,
It's like it's missing something next to the,
But no, most people, most buyers walking through the house wouldn't recognize that.
yeah,
You would,
yeah.
because you see a million houses, but most of those
Mhm.
people wouldn't.
Okay, so this one, not. The one that's most similar is that last one, that this one here. So, this one here. So 369 has the potential of going under contract. You know what I mean?
Is that the one with the wallpaper?
Yeah, this is the wallpaper
you
house.
think their
This is what
house
we
is
got.
better than this one inside?
It's about the same.
It's a land
It's,
flat backyard.
yeah, the one that we have doesn't have so much yard.
So I'm close to the 352
Yeah.
average price.
This, yeah.
So
Mhm.
potentially it could be listed for 365 at least, or 369
How
Mhm.
long has this been in the market?
in 11 days.
This one?
11.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, so 369-ish. Okay, 369-ish. Look at what I put. Potentially 365 to 381.
Mhm.
Purchase for 154. Let's see what I did on the net to seller. 360.
Okay.
But now we know that that other one went under contract for 369. You know, potentially,
Well, that's what I was, yeah, I guess if, since it's within 11 days, you're assuming it's
Mhm.
close to listing price.
maybe, but I think that if there were multiple offers, it depends on whether there are multiple offers or not. Okay. Because they may see it and they may put in offers because what does that say?
360.
That message on the bottom left corner?
Live notifications.
Okay. Yeah. It just depends. It just depends. So I have 360. That's what I put here. Okay. Because when I did this, I had not been to the house. Okay. So maybe 365 it could be. Mm-hmm.
Is their how can you describe their house? Like what's their house most similar to?
to this one? To
The one with
the
the wallpaper?
wallpaper house?
It's so similar to the wallpaper house?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Except it doesn't have all that wallpaper. Okay.
And the
But
front of the house and everything.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Is
I
it
mean,
kept up?
this is it's sort of, yeah. I mean,
You don't have
this
a
looks
picture?
more, no, this one out here looks, let me get the address and I'll show you what it looks like from the
Okay.
front.
At 40 Clearwater Place. Nice front yard.
Mm-hmm. This is it.
Mm. Oh, this one, I like this from better than that. The other one seems to have better roof.
Mm-hmm.
Newer than this one. It's in a corner. That's what people like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what the house looks like. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, that is kind of the process that you use to kind of come up with a sale price. Mhm. And then next thing is your net to seller. Okay. This spreadsheet, whenever you took your class, did you have to prepare a net to seller sheet? Do you remember? It's like whenever I took my class, I took it through
Yes.
Georgia MLS
Yeah,
and
You're talking
then
about the pre-licensing course?
pre-licensing.
Yeah.
Don't recall.
Okay.
It's all blurred.
Probably.
You just blacked it out.
And then they gave you the sheet and you had to like
yeah.
try to figure out what these calculations were.
They asked questions for everything. I think that goes into here. They certainly didn't have a sheet, I think.
Okay,
But
so
who knows?
this is the net to seller sheet, and I used that we got in our class to program this spreadsheet. And we just made like copy after copy. Every year at the beginning of the year, you need to change these two fields, okay? You have to change it from 2024 to 2025, okay? That field and this field, okay? So that the calculations will it'll do the calculations correctly, okay? For the year, okay? Everything in yellow you can change, okay? I'm not saying to change everything in yellow, just the things that are in yellow,
Inputs.
you can put, information, okay? There's these two fields, the blue and the pink, okay? This blue one goes to, I usually have like a line and it never matches up, okay? But this one, you have to type in whatever number is here, you have to type it into here, okay? It says type the number from cell E5, okay? And then this 130, you have to type it in down here. Okay, I don't know why I don't have a note for that. But anyways, that's where you type it
It
in.
doesn't say that.
It doesn't say, but I'll fix that. Okay, all right.
Are you sharing this to us?
Everybody has one of these. Oh, you mean this one, this
No,
specific
no,
sheet?
this one particular- no,
No,
we
everybody
have
has
in the
an at the seller sheet in
It's
the Google.
drive or
Mhm.
GTH folder.
Okay.
You can also,
Mhm.
if you want that cell to equal that cell, you can just do equals that cell.
Well, I tried to do that. For some reason, it doesn't work. There's some kind of circular something that goes on. So that's why I do it. There was another agent that we had, William, he had done something so it worked, but he made some changes and I just went back to this.
Yep.
So anyways, all right. You start from the top and you work your way down. Okay. Whenever you are going to meet with the seller, you estimate about when could the closing be. Okay. So we're in July. What's today's date? July
13.
13th, July, August, September. Let's say October. October 13th.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Estimating October 13th, it changes this here. It says number of days owned by the seller during the sale month. That's 13. Okay. So I'm going to change this over here. Ooh, 13. Okay, cool. And then 79, come down here. That's this number 79 is the number of days left. Is it right? Uh-oh, not wrong one. Hold on. Is it right? Oh no, that's right. That's the 79 is the number of days between the closing date and the last day of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. So it could do I think is a tax proration. Okay. So we put the date in there. We went ahead and put these two numbers in. Okay. They have a senior discount for taxes. It has not been paid yet right now, but by October, maybe it will be. So we'll put a yes here. And it's going to do some calculations down below. Okay. So, okay. So you can put in yes, and you put in the actual tax paid for the previous year for 2023. Unless you have an estimated tax amount, that statement that the county sends, you could put that in there. Okay. Then you put in how much you're estimating. I know this is in green, but it's usually in yellow. Okay. You put in the estimated purchase price. Okay. This here is where you put, don't worry about this purchaser's down payment because we're dealing with the seller. Okay. You put the loan balance, and their balance is around 95,000. How much is their interest rate? We want to know so that we can get an estimated interest that they're going to have to pay at closing. So, all right. So you do that. Okay. So let's go over this. Sale price 365. And then this number shows up right here. Okay. Next section. The loan balance, 95,000. The interest rate is 4%. Here is calculating the interest cost. The interest cost per day, it's $10.56. And for that month, they will have owned that property for 13 days. So this is calculating the interest rate per day for times 13 days. That's $137.22. Okay, right here.
Yeah.
So 95,000 plus this, the accrued interest is equal to $95,137.22.
The accrued interest, the 137 is based on the $13, right?
13
days.
days
Days.
for
sorry.
$10.56.
Got it.
Okay, so all these numbers add up to this amount. The sale price minus this 95,137 is equal to 269.8. Okay. All right. So we go down to the next part, which is the marketing costs. This transfer tax, it says sales price divided by 100 round up times 0.10. It's usually paid for by the buyer, but can negotiate to have seller pay. Okay. I've never ever seen any buyer ask for the seller to pay the transfer tax. So I always have it at no. The intangible tax.
Not that specifically. They might just say this all like give me $500 or $5,000 towards closing costs.
Yeah,
That
but
would- not specifically that.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay. If they specifically ask for it,
Yeah.
it's negotiable. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can put a yes there. Same thing with this intangible tax. I'm sorry, the intangible tax. Okay. So in both of these, it's no. And then the brokerage fee this is where you put it. You're representing the seller. You've already talked to the seller about how the arrangement is now. Them as a seller, they're responsible for paying their fee, their agent's fees or their costs, and the buyer's responsible for paying their agent's, fee. If they choose to do so, they can offer an incentive. Okay. It's advisable for them to offer the incentive. Okay. Because it's likely that if you don't offer the incentive, they may still ask for it.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Or people may just not come to the house. I mean, we don't know. I'll tell you what I do know is that the last listing I had, I explained this to the sellers.
They say
The
no.
wife said, "Oh, really? Okay, cool. Pay nothing." The daughters looked at mom and like, "No, are you serious? No, mom, no. Like, pay something so people will come." Okay, I'll do 1.5%. All the offers that came in
requested,
asked the seller to pay this amount. I had a conversation with them again. I said, "Look, all 3 offers, look at it. They're all asking for this. This is just some food for thought. If you increase the price by this amount, it's going to, and you offer 3% for the buyer's broker, you're going to net the same amount. And then you're not blocking off people from not coming to the house. Okay, let's increase the price and let's offer this amount." Because I felt there were room. Like I had what ammunition that if it did sell, if we did go under contract for that price, I felt confident that I could talk to the appraiser and substantiate that price. Okay? All right. So 6%, it calculates it. Here it is, 21,900. There's no other costs here. So whatever's remaining here, there's 269, 862.78 minus 21,900. We're down to 247,962. Financing costs. If the buyer is asking for help with closing costs, you put yes here. Okay, and it'll calculate it for you. Again, this is usually in yellow, but for some reason, I have it in green, maybe because of class. I don't know.
1%?
It could be 1%, it could be 2%.
Okay, 3%. That's
Whatever. Okay. So you can adjust it. All right.
What does
But-
the yes say? Will seller pay
It would
for closing
help with
costs?
closing costs.
Okay. So I'm gonna put no. You can estimate. You say, okay, you could do one saying yes or no.
Exactly, to show them the, okay.
Mhm.
Of course.
Mm.
And let's go through this and then I'll ask, because
Okay.
it's not,
Okay.
it's really,
So I add these numbers up, equals 0. This minus this equals this. Okay. If there's any miscellaneous expenses, maybe they're like, okay, you know what? I'm willing to do some things to the house, and they want to estimate, okay, like if I were to put in $20,000 worth of work, what's my net going to be? Okay, $20,000. Okay, you're down to 228,154. But this is not the amount of the check that they're going to get at closing. Okay, this is just so they can get an idea. Okay, so in this case, it's going to be nothing. But this here is what I
else
take.
What else they will deduct?
my commission.
The
No, no,
commission's
no.
up there.
The
Mhm.
commission is, yeah, because you say they're not gonna get that check.
I'm saying
What
that
else is needed? Like, I mean, if
this is
to be
an estimate. This is an estimate.
right,
Okay, if it were to close, if this property were to close on the 13th of October,
right, it will change depend on that, but if our case is exactly like that, that's the final, that's
estimates
the
are correct.
amount of the check.
If the estimates are
it's
correct.
an estimate. It's an
Yeah, but
estimate.
she's saying if the estimates are
It's always
correct.
an estimate, whatever.
Okay, but my question is, okay, even if that is correct, exactly the numbers, what else they will deduct at the time of closing for the seller?
This is everything.
Okay, so that's,
Yeah,
that
this
will
is
be
everything.
in like,
Yeah.
the word, if this is correct, that's the amount of the check
Yeah.
you will receive.
But never say that to your
But
client.
you
No, no,
never
no,
say
I
that.
Yeah.
understand that.
Okay,
I
okay.
understand that. I mean,
Yeah.
this is always an estimate, but.
Correct. This
Yeah,
is
I
taking
just wanted
everything
to know
into
if
mind.
it's something else that is not.
If there's a
closed
lien
yet.
on the property, if there's a lien on the property, you put in miscellaneous lien on the property,
Right, right.
okay? And they're gonna have to reduce $10,000. I've got one like that. The HOA has a lien on the property
Oh,
and they
yeah.
want $10,000. They've only lived in this condo community for 2 years.
Never paid it.
Never paid it, but they had fees.
Okay.
Okay,
Like
they had fees.
Fines.
Fines, because the husband was not putting the trash bin in the garage.
Yeah,
Okay.
$8,000 of that are
So
trash can fines.
They were charging
Which I think is-
$25 for the first occurrence, $50 for the second, and $100 for every other occurrence. And then so he
It just
had
added up.
1 month was like 24,000, another one was 27,000, oh, 2,000. I'm sorry. 1 month was 2,400, another was 2,700.
Whenever I see stuff like that, I'm always suspicious that the HOA is stealing money. So,
Okay. So, all right,
A lot of
we
times you
are,
can-
what time is
you
it?
can-
What time is it?
1036.
Okay. All right. So we went over the CMA. We did the market analysis. I mean, the market analysis and the net to seller. Okay. We're 1036.
Yeah.
Okay. Not bad. This is good. This is good.
Maybe you can
Could I?
finish earlier.
I don't know. Look at the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, so we're done with this. We're done with this.
Okay, while you are closing tabs, can I ask the question I had?
Yeah.
So now the regulation is changing, right? For seller paid commission that's split between the two agencies.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So the buyer has to pay their own agent. So that box on the MLS listing is going away, right? Like the buyer
Oh,
brokerage compensation.
okay. Let me.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Okay,
Like, it's called.
let me see something here.
However, so this is the buyer brokerage compensation, which usually would say 2.5 or 3%. That's going away as of August 17th,
That is
if not earlier.
ridiculous. To me,
Okay.
However, but they're adding something else.
Yeah, here we go.
They're adding basically, it said like
Here.
closing cost
Here we go.
offer
Okay,
something.
it's here. It's here. I'm just like,
Yeah, when it's so dumb, it's all they're doing
It's
is like
so stupid.
you're just
because-
moving it from here to here, and it's all the
Yeah.
same thing. It's
Well,
like
that part, that's how MLS is dealing with it.
right.
But
and
the
it's-
regulation that will change, absolutely, is that the buyer will have to
But they won't.
have a contract signed
Yeah.
with their own broker before they show a house.
Well, we do that anyway.
Yeah, we
Well, no, before they show a house, not
Yeah,
before
we
they
do
put
that
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
yeah, we don't
We-
show houses to people that we don't have houses. We
Yeah.
have agreements
well,
with.
okay. Before
Right.
we would show houses.
Right.
We would show houses.
Yeah.
And then before
Before
we went
placing
under
an offer,
contract, putting in the offer, we would do that.
Yes.
But now we're doing it up
Okay.
front. We're
Okay.
doing it up front and we're having this conversation with the buyers up front. I'm going to share my screen. Entire screen. Okay. So that Gina can see. Okay. So here we go. Okay, this is Georgia MLS. The Georgia MLS platform will, what does it no longer include fields for the listing broker's offer of buyer compensation. A specific date for this change will be announced. Members must not manipulate listings to imply compensation offers through private remarks, photos, documents, or any other fields. MLS participants and subscribers working with buyers must have a written agreement before touring a listing. This agreement must specify the broker's compensation, which must be ascertainable and not open-ended. The broker cannot receive compensation from any source that exceeds the amount stated in the agreement. No advertising of services as free. MLS participants and subscribers must disclose and obtain seller approval for any payment offer the listing broker or seller makes to another broker, agent, or representative. Off MLS offers of compensation are permitted. So you could do it on your website or whatever.
Or on Facebook, you could do it.
Yeah, on your phone, on whatever. To align with these changes, Georgia MLS will introduce optional seller concessions fields into our listing platforms. These fields will inform potential buyers about contributions your seller may be willing to make as part of this
This
transaction.
is so ridiculous.
Okay, all right. So that's Georgia MLS. Okay, here goes FMLS. Okay. NARS settlement update. This was since the 18th of last month. Many members have inquired as to FMLS's position on litigation against NAR settlement and FMLS system changes that may result from continued litigation surrounding broker compensation. FMLS is not planning to join the proposed settlement in litigation involving NAR. FMLS is broker owned and not affiliated with NAR. As FMLS members know, our rules have long and explicitly stated that FMLS in no way is in no way involved in determining the compensation charged by real estate brokerage firms or the commission split between cooperating real estate brokerage firms. FMLS has no plan to change the longstanding established position. However, in light of recent industry discussions and activity, FMLS plans to make the following enhancements. On the MLS listing platform, FMLS will introduce new designated concessions fields, as well as add an option for the listing agent to communicate that a seller may be willing to pay compensation to the buyer's broker and inviting buyers to include any requested compensation for the buyer's broker in the buyer's purchase offer. At this time, all other fields will remain in place and unchanged. FMLS intends to update its rules and regulations to formalize existing practices, forbidding false representations on the MLS that brokerage services are free. Okay?
So basically, it will be the same.
They're replacing
You know,
the,
I mean, it will be, and as you say, and
they'll
that,
rename the field.
yeah, and that listed that you have, all offer requested that. Anyway,
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not gonna be listed there, the buyer will request it in the offer.
Exactly.
This
Okay?
is still there.
And the crazy thing is, like, for years, you'll see, even there's a Wiseman video
Mhm.
frowning upon talking about anything related to commission in the purchase and sale agreement.
Sorry, say that
Okay.
again? Say that again?
Wiseman, you'll find that there is a video. I wonder if it's still out there, where they frown upon making any reference to commissions in the purchase and sale agreements, special stipulations. Okay, because agents were at risk of using that as a way to insinuate that the listing broker should contribute, like give some of their commission so they get paid. And that's the part that apparently is illegal. Okay.
Because it's illegal because buyer's broker cannot be paid by the seller's broker anymore.
No, not that. What's illegal is basically she's the listing agent, I'm the buyer's agent, and me using the purchase and sell agreement to insinuate that Laura should give some of her commission to me
Share my
without me, like I can't use the
Yeah,
purchase and sell agreement.
It's not the buyer asking for, it's the agent asking the other
Right.
agent.
It's
Yeah.
not illegal. It just has to do with it being in line with the settlement. It's not illegal.
No.
There's no law.
You need to watch the
Okay,
video.
all right.
You need to watch the
But
video.
the settlement is law then.
Okay.
Will
What-
come in.
Okay, the settlement has to do with people that are members of Neymar, right? FMLS is not a member of Neymar. So they just said, okay, we're not a member of Neymar. And
Yeah.
we've never done this and this. But since everybody else, this is in, people are talking about this, we're going to change
And it's
the
not
language.
Neymar itself, it's NAR, no
Yeah.
National Association. of Realtors.
Okay, that's what
Mhm.
I mean. That's Association of Realtors. It has to do with the settlement in relation to people that, because if it were law, you wouldn't be able to put your commission, advertise it anywhere. So you could, if you're advertising on your website or your
Right,
social
I mean,
media,
that's-
whatever, then the law would cover that as well.
Mhm.
So it's not a law.
Some regulation.
It's
Like a rule or something.
it has to do with the settlement, the terms of the settlement that the person suing all these big real estate companies.
Okay,
I have a question. So
Yes.
what that is saying that, okay, you have a listing, okay,
Yes.
and FMLS, I mean, there's gonna be that compensation, whatever thing.
mhm,
It's not gonna be, the commission for the buyer's agent. But if I list that in my Facebook, I can say something
you
like.
can say it. You can say it in your Facebook, you can say it on your
Okay.
website. But what they're saying here is that, I'm gonna read it again, is this part here. They're gonna introduce this new designated concessions fields. Okay, before it may have been compensation, okay, but now there's gonna
It's
be something
concession.
concessions, okay?
And the
as well
concession can be 3%.
It says, as well as add an option for the listing agent to communicate that the seller may be willing to compensate to the buyer's broker and inviting buyers to include any requested compensation for the buyer's broker in the purchase offer.
So there's
So-
three things, right? One is they're adding a concessions
Yes.
field. So that could, I guess,
3%.
dollars
Or
or percentage,
something.
So
right?
you as a listing agent can say, in that concessions field, hey, my seller might be willing to collaborate with commission. Now, I don't know if you can put percentages in there.
Yeah, let's see how it.
Okay,
And then a second field that says an option for the listing agent to communicate that a seller may be willing to pay compensation to the
And
buyer.
invite, well, it says
That's
here,
the second thing. And then the third thing is on the purchase and sale agreement.
you
A
can
third
say
thing
it,
on the listing,
You can
inviting
say-
buyers to include.
Yeah. okay?
Maybe it's gonna be
If
the
you
top
want it-
option and then you click
Yeah.
in the ones.
Who knows
It's
what,
gonna be the
it's,
same thing.
it's the
It's
same
that.
thing,
It's just
okay?
they're making it more complicated.
These are lawyers
ways
talking
to get-
around the language
Yeah.
of a specific settlement. That's what
Okay.
they're doing.
But at the beginning it was like everybody was scared. I said, oh my God.
How am I gonna, the problem is this is what I see, okay? If you're not allowed to put 3%, 2%, 5%, whatever, okay?
Or not?
You might not be able to do that.
Right, that
Okay,
concession might
It just
be-
says that they're putting the field, okay? And the agent can communicate that a seller might be willing to pay a compensation. It's not saying, oh, the seller is going to pay this amount of money.
It could be saying that there's indicating that there is something that
So
for
it's
the
just a
buyer to
yes,
say
no?
And so you
It could be.
you make a phone call and ask what it is, I guess.
Right. What my
Mm.
concern is this,
As opposed to not being there at all and not knowing if they're going
As-
to pay anything at all. You know,
as
so-
listing agents, one of the things that we talked about in our other class is that communication is like top priority.
Mhm.
Don't be like the other agents, listing agents that don't answer their phones. Answer the phone. If you don't answer the phone,
I know you think that's amazing.
put
I
it,
got it.
send a message. Hey, I'll call you back, and call them back. Okay? Because now it's going to happen. It may happen. It depends on whether they're going to allow to put numbers in
If
there
we're
or
called
not.
to ask that.
Right.
Okay? So it's really important that agents that are listing agents be ready to answer or have another way. Maybe have a voice message that says, for my listing at the commission being offered is 3%. It's 2.5%. It's maybe that could be done. If you want details about, if you want details about the commission being offered, visit my webpage at there, whatever.
Right.
Well, you can also say it, but can you verbally say it?
Yeah.
You can't put it in there.
You
maybe.
can't put it in FMLS.
Right. But you can
Or
verbally
Georgia
say it.
You can verbally say it. You can put it on your website. You can put it on your
social media.
your social media, all that.
Okay.
Okay. But I don't know if you can link it. What they did say, or at least I saw this from something from Wiseman, is that you cannot, because I asked Wiseman, I sent him a message asking him, is it okay if we use the instructions to the closing attorney? Can we just post that into the attachments? No.
No,
Oh,
because
no.
that's
So
the
that
same
is
thing.
not-
Because it said through documents or photos or in
So
any other
that's
way
not
within
included
MLS.
anymore.
You couldn't
Yeah,
do that.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I started doing that. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's why
Nope.
they included through documents,
Mhm.
images, any other way.
So that's the situation there. Okay. It's really important that when you're working with buyers, just tell them, hey, you've been watching the news. Have you seen what's going on with
Yeah.
NAR? Let me explain to you. This is, a lot of it's the same. Some of it is different. Okay. The main thing is that usually the conversation was mostly had with the seller about the commission. Okay. And the seller would say, okay, yeah, I'll do 6 apples. Okay. I'll pay 6 apples. And then, the 6 apples would be divided into 2. If another agent brought in a buyer, then it would be, okay, here's 3 for you and 3 apples for me. Okay. Now the conversation is being had with both the seller and the buyer. The seller, you talk to the seller and let them know what the fee is, how much Beautiful Georgia charges. Okay. Beautiful Georgia Homes charges 3 apples or $5,000, whichever is highest. Okay. To represent them as sellers. If we're representing them as buyers, is 3 apples or $5,000, whichever one is highest.
Which is 3% off.
Okay. Not always, because some investors, they happen
I
to
will-
find some crazy things
Yeah,
or land.
right, land is
Or
great.
land, okay? So then they understand that that's our minimum. Okay? All right. But you need to help them understand that you know what? The seller is responsible for paying their agent and the buyer is responsible for paying their agent. Okay? But Mr. Seller Eric,
Mhm.
I know that you might be thinking right now, well, this is great because it's more money for me. Okay? But I need you to think about buyer Laura. Okay. Laura may have saved, a lot of buyers. It could be Laura and this other buyer here, you know, may have saved for down payment, for closing costs, for their inspection, their appraisal, but might not have another 3% to pay commission. So in if Laura decides when they see that there's nothing offered, that they still want to come see the house, for sure they're going to be asking you for help.
Okay, so I know you're telling me that not having something for the buyer's agent might prevent people from coming to see the house. Can we try maybe if I offer 1%? Can we try that and see how it works?
We can certainly try that. Okay.
What would be the disadvantage of that?
Well, I mean, again, hopefully Miss Laura has the 2% to cover that, but just know that there's a possibility that if she doesn't have it and she's interested in the house,
Mhm.
she may still ask you to cover the three apples
Okay.
for her agent.
Okay.
So that's a decision that you have to make. But another thing you may want to think about is, let's do some numbers. Let's see if let's see how much it would take. You're wanting to net this amount of money. Let's talk about that. Let's see, where do we need to bring this amount to so that you might offer the 3 apples
Mhm.
to the buyers that come in,
Mhm.
so you could be able to net this amount.
Mhm.
Okay? Because if you need to net this amount, then I will push so that you net this amount as much as possible. Okay? It just depends on how many offers come in and how much interest there is on your house. The more beautiful your house is, the more likely people are going to come to your house.
Have you had a listing where the seller didn't offer anything to the?
I certainly did.
How
Okay.
did that work out?
And what happened was, this homeowner, she decided that she wanted to offer 1.5 apples. Okay. And we put it on. People did come see the house, but all the offers, every single one of the offers asked for the 3 apples to be paid.
Mhm.
And that's why I propose that we look at how much you're how much you're feeling like you need to net.
Mhm.
Okay. So that we can work this backwards and make sure that, we price it properly. And maybe you can consider offering the 3 apples. That way we're not blocking people from coming to see your house. Because what we need is we need more people looking at your house
Mhm.
as possible. Because that's really the formula. The more people we can get in to see the house in person,
Mhm.
the more likely it is that we could get multiple offers. And that's what we want in order to get you top dollar. Okay. So does that help?
It does.
Okay. All right.
But I guarantee you'll have a seller that wants to, because they've heard something through the grapevine about how that works, and they'll either not want to offer anything or they'll want to offer like 1% or whatever. The buyers don't magically have more money just because you want to offer less on the buyer's agent compensation, and so you'll find out you'll just be crickets. Or like Sashana said, the offers will have a request that the seller pay the 3%. And then if the seller says no, they'll just withdraw the offer. On this one particular client that Sean's talking about, that's what happened. They had, you know,
The seller said no to covering some of the,
well, she initially, she only wanted, she had heard through, you know, through the internet, just like everybody else, about, you know, that you don't have to pay commissions anymore, or compensation anymore.
right,
And so she said, well, initially she didn't want to pay anything. So Sean said, listen, you have to pay because people, they're already paying all this money. Like they may not have it to do because they're not used to paying it. And then she offered 1.5%. And then people made offers, but
Still requested
they
the
still
other.
requested in the thing that 3% be paid. And when during that part of the transaction, when she said no, because she was calling their bluff, they said okay, and then they just
they
withdrew their
withdrew
offer.
the offer.
So it
Got
doesn't. I mean, you can have these fantasies about that somehow you have the upper hand because
Right.
of the settlement, but it doesn't change how much money people have in their pocket at the end of the day, because the buyers, they have to actually come up with actual money. As a seller, you're not actually pulling money out of your pocket. It's just, you know, it's just the numbers. It's just numbers on a spreadsheet. Money that you take home, and really you should be concentrating on the, you know, what you take home, not worried about what it's named and
Right. But they, I mean, because of the articles on the internet and the news stories, they think that they can keep that extra 3%.
yeah.
That's what they're thinking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
1058.
58.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna need to chop. Okay,
The other thing
Uh-huh.
is probably, so I just pulled up, you know, a 1 mile radius within my house just to
Uh-huh.
see what comes up. And another talking point there is, well, and you can insert their property. There are 9 current active listings within a 1 mile radius from your property, Mr. Seller. 7 of those 9 are offering some sort of compensation or concession,
mhm,
to work, you know, for the buyer to be able to pay their
right,
agent.
right,
When that buyer has to say which properties they want to go see, which ones do you think they're going to say yes to
right.
go even to
Good point.
see?
Yeah.
Right?
Good
It's
point.
these 7. The other 2 that say no, no, they don't want to pay any
Mhm.
compensation. They are likely going to be sitting on the market until
Mm-hmm,
they
That-
offer that, or
That is a
mm-hmm,
good point.
likely the offer that they end up accepting, even though they don't say it here,
Mhm.
the offer they likely end up accepting will include that concession
right.
at the end of it, because that's the market.
Okay, so,
You're the buyer. I'm sorry,
I am
you're
the
the seller.
seller.
Yep.
okay. You know what? Look, Ambers, I'm giving you 2 houses to sell. I mean, like, you're gonna get 2 deals out of
2
this.
transactions.
Okay?
Okay.
Because you're gonna sell my house and then you're gonna help me buy. Okay?
Great.
Don't go there. Don't say.
So, you know,
And
can't you
lower-
just give me a deal here? I mean, I'll give the 3 apples to the buyers, you know, to the buyer so that they can compensate their agent. But can't you work something out for me? I mean, I'm helping. Look, I'm getting you getting 2 deals out of this.
So, yes, you're correct that there could be 2 transactions
Mm-hmm.
that we're going to work together on. One would be to sell your current property, and the second one is to buy your next home, and in whichever order, right? Maybe buy first, maybe sell first. But yes, there are 2 transactions, but there's also twice the amount of work as one transaction. There's not, you know, it doesn't become any easier necessarily. It doesn't become that much easier if there are 2 transactions,
Mhm.
right? I mean, in fact, you could argue that there's actually more complication
There is.
because you have to time things perfectly
Mhm.
to be able to make sure that one is done and then immediately you could go into the next one,
Mhm.
or certain things that have to be done at the same time
Mhm.
that where you're working with one agent and they'll be able to coordinate it much better, much more smoothly than if you had just 2 separate agents doing 2 separate things.
Right.
They're not talking to each other because there's no incentive for them to work together.
Right.
So it's actually in your benefit to use the same agent to do both, but it's not any less work. So
Mhm.
because of the high quality service that I'd be giving you, that's why for the selling portion, this is the fee that I would request. And for the buying portion, this is the fee that I would request for those
And
services.
let me tell you something, and I'm gonna say something.
Sean just had one that it was 3 houses.
Hold on,
that-
hold on a
that-
second.
that-
Hold on a second. It's important, and I've learned this from my father, okay? Even though you have your own business, always make it
Somebody else.
somebody else,
It's
right?
up to my broker.
Sorry.
It's-
Not,
My
don't
hands are
say,
tied.
don't say it's up to my broker. It is what our brokerage charges. Okay, use that as your ammunition. Like, it's not up to me. Okay,
Right.
it's not up to me. This is what our brokerage charges. That's one thing. Another thing is, I would love for us to sit down and come up with our list of values. Okay, so that we say, look, you want a discount, and we only pull this out whenever they're wanting a discount. Okay, and then we dissect that and say, okay, if they want a discount, they're wanting a certain percentage discount, these things get taken up.
Tell me
This-
which of these
those-
services you
those-
want me to not provide to you.
Well, we have to have a package. Like, we have to figure out, because to be honest with you, for this to work properly, you need the whole thing.
Right.
And that's what they need to understand.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're a full service.
I was
brokerage.
thinking we already passed that part of the conversation, but yes.
But I feel like we need to sit down, all of us together,
Oh,
all of us. I don't mean Shoshana and Eric
Because
or
honestly,
Shoshana.
we're a full service brokerage, and on it, and as a personality, Shoshana and I we're incapable of not doing everything we can to sell the house. So,
Right.
so for me to have a package that's,
that's a 2% package, and then you do fewer things.
yeah, it's like,
You're
you know,
still going to
for me
market it
not
as
to
much
do
as
everything
you
I
know
can
you
to sell this
can.
house. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, you want me to fight somebody with one arm behind my back, and so,
Right. Right.
you know, if you want this to get sold and get the most money, then this is what I charge to do it.
Right.
If you want somebody who charges 1%, then I don't know that I can do that for you.
Right. Because maybe they don't want us to contact all the agents that have buyers looking for a home
Reverse
like theirs.
prospect.
Is that what you want? Is that what you
Right.
want as a seller? You want me to not call all the agents that
Right.
have a buyer looking for?
To-
Okay.
To use my sphere of influence to get a client.
Do you want me to not pay for professional photographs for your house so that it looks mediocre?
If I already have another client that I'm working with and that your house is perfect for them, do you not want me to match you guys together? Because if you want it discounted, you're asking me to not make as much money as I could with this other client that's totally unrelated to you, because you want,
Right.
you know, so it's like, you know, I'm making it by me bringing 2 of my clients together so that your house may be good for them. You know, you want me to not put you in contact with that person because you want to, you know, you want to pay 2% instead of 3%. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you're penalizing me for being more connected
Right.
and more experienced and have a greater sphere of influence.
Okay. All right. I could tell you right now that we are going to need one more session.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to need one more session. One more session to complete, but this is important for us to go over and for you guys to know that it's available. Okay. This has to do with, this is pretty much everything. Okay. I'm not going to go over this because this is what we discussed the other day. What is important to a home seller? Okay. All of that I'm going to skip for now, and y'all will be able to read it online. Okay. But this is kind of so y'all have an idea of the process. Whenever you go in to see the seller, okay, the things you need to ask for. Is there a first and second mortgage? Get the balance on the first, the second. If there's a second one, what's the interest rate? Is he the only person on title? This is stuff we talked about last time. Okay. Are you aware of any liens on the property? Is there an HOA? If so, has the seller, have the seller complete a community association exhibit, or you get, help them to get that information. You can go to previous listings, see if you can get the information from there, see if you can call the HOA and verify this information, or ask the seller to verify it. It's, always better to have the seller do this, okay? So that the seller doesn't come back and say, well, I didn't even complete that form. It was Lauda. So it's better for you to get the seller to do these things. Is this HOA paid monthly or annual? What does it include? Ask them to please have ready for the appointment the legal description, the deed. Usually that's in their closing documents. A survey if they have one available. The last month, a copy of the last month's statement, because that's where you can get a better idea of the balance and the interest rate. Information if they have any warranties or anything for appliances that are, whatever. Information about when the roof was replaced, HVAC, hot water heater, windows, condition of plumbing. Did they pour new concrete? When did that happen? Okay, what you want to prepare. The CMA, okay? Print the public records, and you can put that into your folder, just like we talked about last time, okay? FMLS, let's see here, what to prepare, okay. Okay, yeah, because all of this is from, you can get information from the public records. If you do a market analysis, now Georgia MLS, you can set it up like we set up FMLS, and you can download that data, okay? So if you happen to see information in Georgia MLS that was not in FMLS, you could include those, download it, upload it into Excel. If you still need more data because you're not finding a home in the subdivision, you could go to the public records. You might have to input it manually, okay? Okay. The net to seller, you need to put that in your folder as well. You want to get that approximate payoff, put the interest rate in there. Find out if the property taxes are current, as like if they paid it and all that, okay? You want to take to your listing appointment your mallet.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that you can get the sign put into the ground. You want to bring your sign, your post. Okay, I don't know if y'all have seen our signs or not. I meant to bring, oh, they're in the car anyways, but I'll show it to you if you haven't even, have you ever seen one of our signs? No? Okay, all right. So the lockbox, you want to bring the lockbox.
Everything ready too.
Yeah, and you want the seller to have keys ready for you to put into the lockbox. So you want to tell them that.
This is to take to the listing of, this is all for the listing appointment?
You're gonna close the deal.
You're gonna close the deal.
You're gonna make them sign, it's your listing.
Yeah, I guess. Have you ever needed to put the sign that day?
I've had that.
How is that 10% of the time, 50% of the time,
Well,
90% of the time?
the problem is that the thing is this, not problem. The thing is that most of the time when I'm going there, I've already had my conversation with them. Like I have most of those conversations I'm having,
On the phone.
I have it on the phone and I'm talking to them, or, and I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm showing my value right on the phone. Okay. The meeting for this house, I actually had it in person with them because there were an older couple and the daughter was going to be there, and I need to make sure they understood clearly. Okay. So it depends on the situation, but by the time I'm going to the house, I have that in the car just in case. It's just always better to just have it just in case. Okay. Sometimes people have everything ready. You're like, and they're like, I'm ready to move.
Right.
Okay. So just be ready. So you take your mallet, your sign, your post, the lockbox, your listing docs. At the appointment, complete the following. You want to have your exclusive seller listing agreement. You want to fill out the data entry forms. I only fill out the one for Georgia MLS. Okay. And I do that because I start out by putting the listing in Georgia MLS first. And then I do this thing called Ditto. Georgia MLS to me is easier, the input process, than FMLS. Georgia MLS, if it was already listed, you could copy the listing and that's awesome. Okay. If it wasn't listed, then all it's going to pull in is from the tax record. And it's just like, it's tedious work. And then when you pull in from another listing, you have to like double check and make sure that the information is correct. Okay. You cannot just, oh, I just copied it and keep moving. The information that you put in, it's your responsibility. Okay. You want to get a copy of the legal description, ask for the deed. I strongly recommend that you get the deed. Sometimes people are like, oh, they fill out the legal description form. I'd rather the deed, because that way there's no mistaken, there's no typos. That's what it is. Seller's disclosure, you want to have, usually at the listing, I go ahead and ask them the questions. I'm like, just go ahead and ask them, because whenever I've left it, it never gets done.
Right.
Okay. Community association disclosure, if possible, get it started and you can ask some questions. But to be honest with you, most of the time the sellers don't get it right. They don't know what's up with the HOA.
Yeah.
They don't really know if there's rental restrictions. That stuff is on the covenants. Okay. You want to ask them, I didn't even, put it on here, but you want to ask them for a copy. I'm going to add that in there. A copy of, if they have access to the copy of the covenants and the bylaws.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Lead-based paint exhibit.
If it's before 19.
Mm-hmm. And please read that carefully. I feel like sometimes because we're rushing, we're not paying attention, but this is really, really important. Like, you have to read where it says the information for the seller and make sure that the seller is you're having the seller sign in the appropriate spots and the buyer in the appropriate spots. It looks bad. You look bad when you don't do it right. Okay. All right. So if it's a condo, you need the condominium resale purchase exhibit F33.
Is that instead of the regular F201 purchase and sale agreement?
No, that's in addition to. That's like an exhibit.
This is an exhibit?
Yeah.
And what does this say?
This is basically specifying that it's a condo. Some townhouses could potentially be a condo.
Right.
And this is important because of the financing. Because if it's a condo, it's not a fee simple. Okay. So there's a different requirements, mortgage requirements. Okay. So that's why this is important to be done. In your folder, and sometimes I have like a manila folder, and I'll write this down on the folder because later on I'll throw it away. You know what I mean? But on the folder that I have for the client, I'll write down the super lockbox number. I'll find out what's their cell phone service, if it's T-Mobile, AT&T, or whatever, because I'm going to need it for the setup so that they can get notifications, the sellers.
Oh, you need that with the
Yeah.
carriers?
Yeah.
Oh, in the Supra.
Yeah, the Supra, because when you set up the Supra lockbox through FMLS, there's a place at the very bottom where you can put in the seller's phone number if it's
Carrier.
T-Mobile, tmobile.net or ATT whatever.net or whatever, however it is. Okay.
It'll send them text message updates every time someone
Opens that
it.
lockbox. Okay.
And closes it or
Well, if it depends, because some people will put the key back in or they do different things. So it times out if it's been too long or something like that. So All right, so you want to get the cell phone service. You want to write down the utility companies and numbers if they have those available. Write down the plan for showings. Okay. I'm always pushing for give me a window so that people can go to the house without an authorization, like without saying you having to authorize a showing. So
Oh,
if
like
you're
a
going
go
to
and
be,
show,
yeah. Mhm.
right?
So yeah,
Instead of
exactly.
appointment required.
So if you're going to be at work from, I don't know, 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock,
Yep.
can you give us till like 7 or 8 o'clock? You know, just this window open so that we could just have it go show. Okay, that's easier because if the seller's not paying attention to the app and they're waiting, I don't want to be
You don't want to lose out on
monitored.
the, yeah.
I don't want to be monitoring my phone and hey, you haven't replied. Sometimes you're going to have that. And then you set it up so that they give the authorization. Okay. But you also need to be paying attention so that you can talk to the seller and say, hey, you know what? It's been 30 minutes and you need to confirm. Okay. Write down the most recent updates to the house and the dates of when those updates were done. Okay. You're going to need this whenever the recent updates, you're going to need that whenever you're writing your description of the listing. Okay. Because that's really, the more you can say, knew this, knew that, knew the other, the better. Okay. You want to take pictures of the following: the legal description of the property. If there's a survey, a copy of that. If there's any current warranties that they might have. Okay. Discuss what the seller should expect. Okay. Basically from you. Okay.
Yep.
Explain and figure out if they will be taking full advantage of the arrangement for the designer to assist them in preparing the house for the photos. When will you want to discuss when the professional photos will be taken. Okay. Or you ask them, hey, when is the house? Okay. I'm looking at the house and you have your list of things. When is that going to be ready? Right now, I have one that I'm not going to send the photographer over there because I'm paying for the photos. Okay. I'm not sending the photographer over to that house in Cartersville until he sends me pictures that the work is done. And I've had this really strong conversation with the seller. It's like, oh, well, when are you going to come out here? I says, I'm not coming out there in person until I see that these things are done. Okay.
You already have the listing signed? Or no?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But these are people, And I should have it signed. In fact, thank you for saying that because I'm going to get it signed.
Well,
And
because
I'm
you're
not
saying,
supposed to now, especially now.
Mhm.
Okay, this is all change of mindset. We're not supposed to advise people on anything unless we have a listing agreement.
buyers or
No,
sellers?
sellers.
Really?
Mhm, yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
part of the new?
Because they'll take your strategies and then maybe hire somebody else. That's
Yeah.
why you're not supposed to.
That, I understand. So I get that, but that was always the case.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're
But-
saying now.
but now-
Yeah, it's a good practice.
But now,
Yeah.
but
Not
now.
to give your secrets away to somebody that you don't have a contract with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because you're saying, I want to get started working for you right away.
Yeah. So you go ahead and get that signed.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a way, like, I'm still trying to figure out how that's like, there's different fields. There's like a field for you to put in the agreement date and the marketing date when it's supposed to start.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And start date and when it expires.
Like the listing start date.
Uh-huh.
In MLS, you're saying there are different fields, or
In
on the GAR form?
On the GAR form.
They're different fields. Do you have to commit, you as the listing agent, do you have to commit to a date for when the property is going to be on the market?
Well, that's what's on the, yeah.
Yeah, you have
On
to
the-
commit to a date.
Yeah. Mhm.
So today we're signing the agreement.
Yeah.
So it's today's date for the agreement date.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm telling you that
We're gonna
by-
activate.
within 30 days, I will put this property on the market. So
Yeah.
I'm putting a date 30 days out.
And then there's a
And it could
field.
go on the market before that if they're okay with
Then
it.
there's a
Well,
field.
there's a field there where you could put how many days it can,
Be
like,
on
it can, like, if the seller's like, oh, I'm not ready yet. You know, how many days from that date that you put?
Yeah.
It can be delayed. You could be like, oh,
Okay.
5 days or
and
10 days or
that's
something.
entirely based on the seller or both.
I can't remember. But it's on the
Okay.
listing agreement. Okay, so these are things, you know, what you want to let the seller know what they can expect from you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the photo shoots, how much time, it's going to take you to prepare all the marketing stuff. Okay. Because it's not like, okay, you signed everything, whoop, it's going on the market. I mean, some agents do it.
Because they don't
I'm
do
j-
anything.
Right. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't do that. I have a formula. Okay. Y'all can write this down. I know in my mind that I need the photographer to go out and, you know, he can go out on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but Tuesday, you're cutting it. Like, I don't want Tuesday, because if you're wanting this house to go on the market Wednesday or Thursday, I need at least like 48 to 72 hours. Okay. Because entering this thing into Georgia MLS, if it was listed, fantastic. If it wasn't, oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. It's just, it's so
You need,
data
sorry, what do you
entry-ish.
need? What do you need 48 to 72 hours before?
me. I need
What do you-
that to, from the time we get, like, to get this thing launched, to launch
Just to
the
enter,
listing,
right, just to enter the information in.
to prepare everything, because there's, as you heard me say, there's set up for like FMLS or the Georgia MLS, send it to FMLS. Need to, as soon as that happens, get those pictures added on to the listing, both FMLS, Georgia MLS. You need to upload the exhibits. Okay, make sure you have all those
The
exhibits.
documents.
Okay, all the documents.
SPD, CAD.
We create a web page for the listing. Okay, and you want to make sure that on that web page that we create for the listing, we've listed the most the most recent updates to the house. You want to be able to like link the schools on our page, so that you click on the school and they can go straight to the school's web page. Like, all of this stuff is stuff that we do, Beautiful Georgia Homes does, so that whenever you have that listing active, you can do your reverse prospecting and you can quickly send that link to the agents. Here, I'm gonna send you this link, and they have access to all this stuff, and they can feel free to send that to their clients. Okay? But I say 48 to 72 hours window is needed, so that
Yeah, that's okay. got it. That's
Okay.
to do the work to get it from 0 to 100.
Okay.
What's the let's say the house is fully ready to go for, because they just kept up with it
Yeah.
and it's fresh
Because the
paint.
designer lives in there and it looks
Right,
fabulous.
Right. It's
Okay.
ready to go. Not one change needs to be made. You come over. It's my house. You come over. I say, I'm ready. Giving you the contract today, signing it. From then to on the market. What's your tip? What's
What's the time?
the time?
2 days, 3 days,
Okay.
1 week.
2
So
weeks? Yeah.
we sign. Okay. Let's say we signed on,
Not rushing. Like that's what I'm
Right.
saying. Like,
yeah.
what's
Okay.
the standard?
So what's today? Today's Saturday?
Saturday, 13th.
Today's Saturday. Okay. So that, okay, I signed the agreement with you today.
Okay.
Okay. We have to schedule the photographer to come in.
Sure.
What day is good for you?
Just give me the total number first. Like, is it 7 days? Is it 14 days? I'm asking you.
It just depends. It
If
depends
I
on,
say, okay, the picture, oh no, next week.
'Cause
I'm
I don't
gonna
know
be
what the
here
schedule
because I'm
is.
If I'm
traveling.
available, right?
Yes.
Like, relaxing all those constraints that I'm not available and all that stuff, like I
Okay.
need 1 week, or is it just the 3 days that you
I
mentioned?
would say it's probably a week. It's probably a week.
Okay.
Because let me see. Let
Okay,
me
it's
let
1
me
week.
see. You say, okay, the photographer, today's Saturday. Okay. Today's Saturday. Like call the photographer. Hey, Steve,
Yeah.
will you be available? When are you available to go and
Thursday.
take pictures? Tomorrow. Okay, cool. Okay. Tomorrow he's over here at your house. Okay.
Sometimes it'll be a week, so it just
And
depends.
then he sends me the pictures. Steve is really fast. He'll send me the pictures the same day. So then I received it Sunday, let's say, but I'm like, I want to work on Sunday. Monday, I'm at the office and I'm getting everything ready. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm not listing it on Tuesday. I'm listing it Wednesday or Thursday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It could be in 4 days. If we sign an agreement today.
So if we sign an agreement, literally the and
Today,
it's the house is
and
ready
the
to go.
photographer's
What
ready.
you have to do is just photography.
The photography and all the stuff that I need to
Yeah,
get done.
Which
The
is marketing.
webpage and
Okay.
the
Yeah,
listing
if the
and
house
the,
is ready, if the house is
Sure,
ready.
if the house is ready.
right. As short as 4 days.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's important for you as a seller to understand that this is not like I switch a switch on and then we're good to go. There's things involved. We are setting things up. We have web pages to set up. We have information, pulling together. We need to do it right. You want us to do it right.
And sometimes they might be not ready for the pictures. Maybe they
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
I need to
like
get the house clean by summer.
Clutter and
Maybe
cleanliness.
whatever,
Yeah,
I need a
yeah.
couple of days.
Because when it goes to the market, people are going to walk through,
Exactly.
and if you have if you need deep cleaning for the master
Yeah.
bathroom,
Right. Exactly. Mhm.
do you offer that like as part of the package? Like, oh, we need cleaners to come in.
You can offer
Whatever you
whatever you want. Okay.
Do you offer?
No, I don't, but
You can offer to
you
have
can,
somebody come in and sage the house if you like.
yeah,
It's up to you.
yeah. That's totally like, yeah, up to you. Whatever helps you to win. Okay. All I want is for you to be winning all the time. That's what I want.
Yep, understood. I'm trying to understand when you win, what's the most likely formula for you to win it? Does that make sense?
Yeah. My formula to win it
Yeah.
is looking at it from terms of the seller. Okay.
You have to listen and read between the lines what people are telling
But like
you.
a little bit, one level deeper, right? Like,
Yeah.
here are the 6 marketing strategies that one is staging, one is really great photography, one is I make a video, one is social media, whatever.
these things that I'm telling you, this is it.
Is it C.
Everything that you see
under
here,
C?
everything that you see here, this is what
Under
the shopper
3.
does.
Got it.
Okay.
But there's also the extra thing of you have to connect with people and you have to be able to listen to what people are saying and also be able to see what's going on underneath their words so that you can, they can connect with you.
And I think that's maybe it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but it
That is the biggest deal.
It
It's
is
connecting with the seller.
Yeah. And helping them understand that you really are hearing them. Like because most sellers, they may have like a list of people coming over and they're hearing the same stuff and they don't feel like it, like they feel like a number.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. We talked about setting up notifications on showing time. Showing time, you can set up the notifications and the super lockbox. And I would do that for every listing. Okay. You ask them who is it that they want to be notified whenever appointments are made and whenever somebody's opening up the lockbox. Okay. And you set that up. You
If the
talk to
house
them.
is vacant, you can do the one authorizing or set up like it's.
Go and show.
Then
Go and show. When they can expect the listing to go up. So all of these things I'm telling the seller. I'm like, okay, this is what's going to happen. When is it that you're available for the photos? Okay, this is my plan. And I let them know this is my plan. Just like I just finished talking to y'all about. This is what I'm going to do on this day. The photographer is going to come on this day. I will always list the house on a Wednesday or Thursday. Okay. By Sunday, so Wednesday or
Yeah.
Thursday, it's going up, and I let them know.
Yep.
Ambrish, that if we're going to be putting it up on Thursday, Wednesday night, this is me.
Yep.
Okay. Wednesday night, Eric and I are going to be up till midnight or past midnight, getting things set up for your listing, because what we want, and I'm not telling you to do this, okay? All right, Ambrish.
Yep.
But I'm just telling you what we do.
Yep.
We set this up at midnight because we don't want to lose a day. We
Okay.
want to
If you
have
listed,
the
if you listed at
whole
11
day.
o'clock, it counts as the first day.
No,
11
right,
p.m.
Yes.
11
Yeah.
p.m. So you just
You
you
want to be
wait
at 12:01.
12:01 so that it's on the new list for whenever
Uh-huh.
people log in. That the next
and
morning.
that first day is super important to have everything together, have it all
Right.
pulled together, have the photos, have the exhibits, everything up, have the super lockbox linked to the client, have your showing time linked to the client, so that when people wake up at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever, beep, beep, and they're looking for houses,
Yep.
okay, because they are desperate
yeah.
to find their house, everything's pulled together.
Yeah.
Even though FMLS says the listing, the photos need to be up within 24 hours, don't do that.
Oh, you have to be prepared before. Yeah.
You have one chance to make a first impression, only one chance. I'm saying with the house, the way it's presented and the way that listing starts. That listing, if 9 o'clock in the morning comes up and your listing comes up without pictures,
Yeah.
there went your
Well,
first impression.
All these like a lot of people, even though they might be set up on an MLS search, a lot of people still use Zillow and Redfin and these apps, and
Yeah,
these
they do.
apps will push. Yes, you can, if you're looking at the map and things like that, that's different, but a lot of these apps will push whatever is hottest up to the top. And the better the photos, the higher it's going to be. The more views and saves and things like that, the higher it's going to be. So you have to do whatever it takes to get higher up on the list.
And this is what it takes.
Yeah.
These
Correct.
things.
The photos,
Right.
all that, yeah.
Yeah.
Being ready,
Right.
yeah, as soon as people are ready.
Uh-huh. So that's the thing. What time is it, Eric?
11:34.
Okay. All right. All right. You want to talk to them about how you're planning to communicate. Okay. It's super important, communication. Okay. So that they know, if I need to talk to you, I'm going to be sending you a telegram or a WhatsApp message. Okay. And I need somebody to respond quickly. Who needs to be in this group? I create a group. The, I don't know, the Ramirez family house or whatever. Okay. I put a house on there, a little, emoji house or whatever. And I put all of them in that group. And I let them know, I need to know that if I send you a message, y'all are going to be looking at these messages and somebody's going to respond quickly in the communication. Because if
So,
offers come in,
yeah.
you need to let them know, hey, by the way, here's an offer. And I'm going to send you offers in Telegram or WhatsApp so that you can get them quickly. And that's because you can link it to your computer and you could just dump it in there fast. Okay. Every offer you receive, every single offer has to be delivered to the seller. Okay. Even if it looks like it's not, like it's like, like an investor just fishing, like, oh, I'm offering to, and it doesn't have all the terms, because I got one of those for the townhouse. Doesn't matter. You still send it to the seller. Say, I got one after it was under contract.
Still have to send it.
Still had to send it. Okay. So we'll talk about expectations as far as communication is concerned. You're going to send it, you're going to communicate with them, and you need their commitment that they're going to respond to you in a timely manner. Okay, discuss showing instructions. We talked about that. Make sure the home looks its best at every showing. Advise clients to put away all valuables. Obtain any special showing instructions to relate to the buyer's agent. Find out how seller will handle pets during showings. Discuss showing time to know how you'll need to set it up. Take interior photos or preliminary pictures. If you have the photographer take photos, virtual tours. Okay. Get a set of keys and or fobs for lockbox for the seller main entrance. Sometimes you could put the lockbox on the door, or if you're feeling like, you don't want people going into the house because they're still living in the house, maybe you can leave them with the lockbox and they can put it outside the door every morning before they leave. But it's important for you to emphasize, it's really important that you not forget to put the lockbox out there, okay? Every day. Okay. Right before you leave, write down on your folder the lockbox serial number. The lockbox will have a serial number on the side. Write that down because you're going to need that in the setup, okay? So that it's linked to your listing. Okay, you place the lockbox on the door or not. You place your signage. Okay. After the listing appointment, and remind you can organize the individual documents and merge them together, ready to upload into SuiteAssist. SuiteAssist is where you deliver the documents, okay? You have a listing agreement, it needs to be uploaded to SuiteAssist. Don't upload it individually. I think you know about that. Get all of the documents that you have signed and executed, merge them together in Remind, upload it, and from there, go assigning it. Upload listing sheet to SuiteAssist and file. Okay, you need the exclusive listing agreement, Georgia MLS. You don't have to put both FMLS or Georgia MLS data entry sheets, whichever one you fill out. All seller pre-filled and signed exhibits. Okay, your seller's disclosure, community association disclosure, the lead-based paint, condo exhibit, legal description. If you have a copy of the survey, upload that. Enter the listing into both services. Once your listing has been entered and made active in the listing services, make sure you upload your listing photos as soon as possible. We talked about that. Okay. Showing time, you need to set that up. Super lockbox, you need to set that up. Okay, start marketing. Remember to have the broker review all marketing prior to publishing. You might want to prepare various ads to be reviewed by the broker to have on rotation and reuse with different listings. Once listing is active in the listing services, write down the MLS numbers in the client's folder. Get the link to your listing. Get the link to your listings, okay? Because even for the web page that's going to be created, you're going to have to send us the link. FMLS, when you're in Matrix, you go to your listing, you click on it, it has a place where you can gather the link. You need to send that so that we can link it to the web page we create for your listing. Okay. Let's see, post notification with the link on FMLS. Okay. On Facebook. Okay. You want to share the information about your listing with the other agents. Okay, the Beautiful Georgia Homes agents, so they can help promote your listing. Do you know what List Reports is?
No.
List Reports. Okay, List Reports is an app that you use, and we get it. Kelly pays for it. Okay, and it helps create flyers. Like if you're going to have an open house or something, it does it automatically whenever it's somehow linked to FMLS. And then once your listing goes active, you get a notification. Hey, Kelly Levins has set this up for you, but it's really List Reports that has done it. Okay. You can
flyers. Like
it's
marketing
flyers,
materials?
postcards. Yeah. Some marketing materials. And you can change the date, the open house dates on it and stuff. Okay. Okay. You want to start preparing for your open house. Notify the neighbors that you have a listing in the neighborhood and find out if they've been thinking of selling too, offer to prepare a CMA for their home, send out mailers to neighbors, place door knockers on the door, invite them to the open house. I always have my open house on Sunday. We already talked about that, but you can do it whenever.
Because you already have the signs made.
I what? Yeah, exactly. That's
Why not
exactly
make
what.
a different set of signs.
I don't want to have a collection of signs always like lingering in my garage. When your listing goes
Have
under
you
contract.
had Saturday open houses?
I have, but
What works better, Saturday or Sunday?
I like Sundays.
What works better, Saturday or Sunday?
I think Sundays. I think people, at least Spanish people, the Sundays are the days that they go for. They take their kids, their family out for rides and stuff. At least that's what I know.
We'll have candy for.
Yeah,
Do what?
So have
some
candy.
Candies for the kids.
at the open house.
Oh, at the open house, yeah.
Okay, so once you go under contract,
But
okay.
so Sunday afternoon, because Sunday morning is church.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ours is 2 to 4. Okay. What time is it?
11:42.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you something. I'll give y'all access to this. There's still more. As you can
Yep.
tell, this is really my formula. Really of everything that I do. Everything. Okay. If you read this is what you as a listing agent need to do. Okay. When working with a seller, everything's here. I read it again today and it's good. Okay.
She was in the office today. It's like, man,
Good job.
she was just,
I was like, wow, it's all here.
she decided to tell me, pull me aside and tell me how awesome she was.
Yeah. So anyways, I'll share this with y'all. Okay. So that you can read it at your leisure. I want to spend the rest of our time now. I want to spend it like talking or role playing or something about whatever you want to do. If you want to role play, let's role play. If you want to talk about what kinds of questions the seller might ask or what you're worried about the seller asking that you may not know the answer to, or the conversation that I have on the phone whenever a seller calls, or if you want to talk about how to find sellers, whatever you want to do. We have 15 minutes. Is that 15 minutes on the phone?
Yeah.
The pressure's on.
How to find sellers.
How to find sellers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Right.
I'm gonna share one strategy. Okay. And I really need you guys to really think and share as well. Okay. But I'm going to tell you this so that you know, and I already went over this with you. Okay. This is, let me see if I can see this from here. Where's my my bookmark? Okay, here. And this is my bookmarks. Here, okay, very end. Here, write this down. Give me this. Okay, bookmark it because I always struggle to find it. Okay, okay,
What is it? GeorgiaPublicNotice.com.
GeorgiaPublicNotice.com.
okay. And in the search, what's your zip code?
30067.
Okay, I'm gonna put my zip code 30043. Okay, and I'm gonna put 30043. I'm gonna put public outcry. And I'm gonna push search. Okay, And you have to read this, okay. Delinquent property tax sale. I'm not looking for property tax sales, okay? I'm not looking for that. I'm not looking for that.
What is this website? All public notices in Georgia Like,
Yeah,
put together, pool.
Yeah.
Okay.
for
Mhm.
tax.
Sometimes it's like there's
And
vehicles and stuff like
foreclosure,
that.
yeah.
Mhm.
Foreclosure.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a notice of sale under whatever. This one here is perfect, okay? So when I click on this, you have it open too?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you found one that has notice of like that? Notice of sale under power?
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Click on view. But you're not a robot.
If you are not.
If you're not, as long as you're not, agree to the notice. Okay.
Okay.
And then you read this. Okay. You read this. Okay. It says here, okay, notice of sale under power, Gwinnett County pursuant to the power of sale contained in a security deed given by Perline E. Bingsley and Jervy Bingley or whatever. Okay. These are probably the owners.
Yeah. As grand.
Okay. All right.
True.
And then it says here, it has the name of the, like the deed book and the page number. It has the bank, that has the mortgage. Okay. It says when they're supposed to have this public outcry, it's the first Tuesday of every month. We've been saying that we want to go to the county over here to Gwinnett County. Okay, we haven't made it. We were going to go like 2 months ago, but we're going to try to do it.
I have a question on
It's
that.
right down the street.
We did that, the date they're going to the foreclosure is August 6th. Let's say that I get to talk to the big list.
The big link.
And so, yes, let's go for sale. Okay, so we, let's say today is July 10th, no 13th. Like I have, almost a month. What happen if we go into a transaction, we accept something, and we agree on closing day August 8th or
They
August 15th?
They
Can we
need,
extend
they
that?
need to talk to the bank.
Okay,
They need to talk to the bank and say, look, please work with me because I'm going to try to get the house sold.
okay, so that
Okay.
is potentially extendable, or that date.
Well, it depends because they're going to have to talk to their bank. If they need you to talk to their bank, they're going to have to write, and they have to do this right away.
Mhm.
They have to write a letter to the bank saying, I, Mr. Bingley, okay, Perline Bingley, authorize Laura Morales to speak on, on my behalf on my account number, da, 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 da. Okay, you have authorization to discuss with her any matters related to this mortgage or whatever. Okay, all right. So then you can call and say, hey, you know what? I'm their real estate agent and we're trying to get this thing sold. We need your collaboration. The debt that they have is not greater than the value. Okay. Is there any way that this could be postponed because we have it listed for sale? Mm-hmm.
Right.
Another thing is this. These are great opportunities for investors, but you're going to have to talk to the investors and say, look, there's no messing around. The seller needs this amount. You need to be able to buy this cash.
Right.
Can you close it
By that day.
by this date?
Right.
Okay. So that it can be a cash closing.
It's faster.
Right. Okay. Jules typically can close transactions.
Looking at that, I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
5 bed, 5 bath, 3,400 square feet, Lawrenceville, brick front, looking like that.
Now these people, they're probably having investors calling them, hey, blah, blah. but there's a lot of noise in their ears. There's a
Right.
lot of
So They don't
noise.
trust unless they have like someone like
Yeah,
on their
somebody,
side, like
Yeah.
like the agent.
okay. All right. But here's all the information. Okay. This is the details. You have to read through this so you have the details.
If
You
that
know,
Tuesday
sometimes-
is a holiday, it goes to the next day. Is what it said. I'm
Okay.
aware of that too.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. But that's important. And here's the address. You see the address is right here. Okay. All right. So now with that said, you know, we pay big bucks to subsidize y'all's use of Real Geeks. Okay. We
Well, we
need to
would-
use it more.
We went to remind the other day.
Yeah, but remind it's okay, yeah. In remind, are you in remind?
No, but I can.
How'd you get that? You just did a search for the address?
Yeah, that was on Zillow.
Okay, so
I can-
you get the address, and then let me open up another window. Yeah, okay. So FMLS. Okay. You get that address and you go into Remind.
Remind,
I'll show you which one. The first Remind that shows up on the
Oh.
left-hand side.
yeah, the pro. Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
look at that.
Pro.
Okay.
And then you paste in the address. There's the freaking address.
See, you
here.
already copied it.
I did copy
In the
it?
search,
Okay.
right?
Search.
Search.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And you paste it in here. Okay.
No, that's not the one, right?
Oh, no. No.
What's
that-
not the one? Sorry.
The
This
address.
is-
she
Oh, it's
copied.
1776.
Yeah.
Where, do you see it? Where?
Right there.
Yes,
What you have copied
highlighted.
Okay.
Yeah, but when she pasted it, it was
Mhm.
the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
there it
Got it.
is.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if you come down here and you look at owners and okay, there's a lot of information here. Okay, there's a lot of information
The
over
loan
here.
balance.
Uh-huh. Sometimes does it have the loan balances? there?
314.
314.
Net equity 468.
Why can't I see?
Value.
Right there.
Okay,
your
thank
cursor
you.
is.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. All right. So you click over here, owners and associated people. Sometimes if you're lucky, it'll have contact information here.
That's some.
And there's 4 here.
Mhm.
Jervy Bingley has 4. Look, there's some, they're on do not call lists.
So
DNC.
you
So
actually
we
can't.
got an email.
Oh, we have an email address here. Okay. And with this email address, you can go into Real Geeks.
Mhm.
Newly.
You can create a new lead.
I created one.
Excellent. I saw that.
Okay.
And you put the new lead, you put in the name, you put in, if you had a phone number that's not on the
You
do
are
not call.
mine. You are mine.
So what?
Actually, you are
Oh,
mine.
thank you. Okay, thank you for saying that. So, okay, I don't even remember how return to admin.
That's fine. You got created there.
Oh, how was I gonna create? I'm not gonna create because we don't have enough time. So anyways, let's say I did create the new lead and I saved it, okay? And let's pretend that person's name is Sochana. Okay? Let's look her up. There she is. Sochana. Here we go. This is Sochana here. Okay? All right. You could have one or multiple. You may have a whole series of people. Okay. You can look them up by name or you could do a filter. Okay. When you add them, you want to make sure that you add a tag that's called pre-foreclosure. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay. But you do advanced filter and you click here and you go to tags.
So create the lead, enter all the information, tag it as a pre-foreclosure
Yep.
lead. Got
And
it.
then pre-foreclosure.
Yep, got it.
Okay. Apply it.
I'll go through a tutorial on the on
Uh-huh,
Real Geeks. I'm sure
and-
they have it.
But you can go to the one we created before. to show. Remember?
Here we go. These are all the ones that are pre-foreclosures now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's say these are not all mine. Some of them are mine. Some of them are Lauda's. Okay.
Oh,
You can-
everyone's leads in here together for each other to
I
see,
have
or
no,
okay.
no. Mm-mm. Your leads come in. I'm able to see
Yeah.
your
Nobody
leads.
As a
else.
broker, you can
Yes.
see all leads,
Mhm.
but all the agents can only see their own,
Their own.
Exactly.
Correct. Okay.
unless they are specifically shared.
So let's say these are all your pre-foreclosure leads
Yeah.
and you want to send them a blast.
Yeah.
Okay. You select it. You select this to select all of them, but that's not what I want to do. I want to select. Oh man, I'm gonna send Laura. Okay, I'm gonna send it to you. Okay, because somehow that's what's showing up. Okay. And then you go into bulk actions up here. Bulk actions, and you do e-blast.
Got it.
Okay.
If you do postcards, it's actual like direct mail postcards
Yeah,
that you
but-
have to pay for. Okay,
yeah,
I'm sure you have to pay for.
Mm-hmm. So I've only created one, okay?
Yeah.
One template, okay? Other templates can be created, like you can create a template and can be added here and you can share it with others, okay? But we click over here and you go pre-foreclosure English.
Yeah.
And then this pops up, okay? And then it says, this is only showing up for me because I'm the broker, okay? See that?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Subject, do not lose your home. Let us help you avoid foreclosure. Take action today.
Can I create my own template?
Yes, you
Okay.
can.
It's
Mhm.
not just the
I just
broker.
need to, we just need to check and see if it's set up yet.
Yeah.
Like that. But yes, you can. So anyways, we wrote this, we designed this. Oh, that's the biggest, okay. We're determined to help homeowners not lose their homes to foreclosures. One simply cannot wait till last minute to take action. It could be the difference between walking away with your profit from your equity or losing it all. It is best to start by completing the following form. I'll click that in a minute. If you have questions, do not hesitate to call us at the number, okay? And then we make one that
Yeah.
the whatever, the merge field will come in there. Our office is in downtown Lawrenceville. You're also welcome to schedule an appointment to visit us at our office. We really want you to get to a better place, okay? And then this is what we created, this little post thing, okay? These are difficult times for many homeowners. If you know of others, maybe family or friends who might also need help, please help them to connect with us. Note, we are also fluent in Spanish, okay? Or whatever other language. What language do you speak? English and
Hindi.
Hindi?
Yeah.
Okay. So. Oh, okay. I can't open it from here, but I'll show it to you. Okay. Okay. This is, okay, so it takes them to this. Okay, so they arrive to this form. Avoid foreclosure. We will help you get your home sold fast. Don't give away your equity to the bank. Okay, so it has all this information that it's asking for: full name, phone number, email address, all this stuff. Okay. Please list any updates, renovations you've done to the house. Has the mortgage been modified in any way? Forbearance, interest reduction. When's the best time to contact you? And they submit. Okay, when they submit this information, it comes through a Google form.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is just to give you an idea of what you're capable of doing. I spent an afternoon putting this together. It would be great if we had more than this, because there's only, when it comes to these foreclosures, you only have a really small window.
Yeah.
Like that Tuesday, Wednesday, you need to be looking at that list, seeing what you can input, send it out.
Yeah.
Okay. The idea with this is that we're not overlapping on, like, if you are living in the same zip code as Ambrish or
Good.
near,
For
we
sale.
arrange and say, okay, Ambrish, this is your zip codes. Right now, Ambrish, you're the only person in Marietta, right? That's where you are?
Yep.
Okay. Marietta. Daniela is in
Okay.
Alpharetta, Milton area. Okay. So we want to make sure that we're not like, over each other. Mhm. And we need to develop more of these things. Okay.
Okay.
But here's an idea. But what time is it?
Well, okay.
12:02. Okay. I feel like this was kind of rushed through the last part, but I feel like that information that's in the manual, it's available for you guys to look through. Yeah, it's available for you guys to look at, and you can look at that at your leisure. I do feel like it would be nice to have some time together so we could do some actual role playing.
We should, yes.
Okay. But with the information that you have, how do you feel? How as far as readiness, like what?
I'm out. I mean, I have to read over. I probably will need help when going to do my first.
Yes.
I never had a listen, so
Okay.
I am not ready.
Okay.
I mean, I just have more information, of
I'm
course.
going to
but-
say this to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't let your not readiness stop you from talking to people and
Of
pulling
course.
them in.
I know I'll have the help. if that
Yeah.
come up. Yeah.
Because believe me, the moment that you have a potential seller, it's like, oh my goodness, I need to read this, like really like focus.
Yeah.
Because right now, a lot of it's a blur.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you have that like potential, all of a sudden it's like your focus is more there. It's more in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, always remember, we only have two categories of people. What are they?
The ones that want to,
People who do it, people who don't.
Okay, that too.
the
but-
ones that need to sell and
Owners
not
and
owners.
exactly people that already own their properties and people that there's buyers and sellers. That's
Right.
it.
That's it.
That's it. So everybody's up for grabs.
And I have to go on. So
That's fine.
But
Look.
I watched the video.
Okay.
And of
Yeah.
course I did it this way because I'm not ready.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's very nice, interesting, and we should discuss it.
Okay. Okay. We'll discuss it next Thursday in our meeting.
Okay.
Stop the recording.
Nobody wanted donut. I'm very offended. I'm not
Oh,
gonna.
good.
yeah.
You want some donuts? You want to say?
Thank you very
don't-
much.
No,
I
no,
don't-
don't even say anything. Okay, bye. See you guys
It's
next
very
time.
thoughtful.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
The
I,
last time I had a donut was maybe like years ago.
oh,
I just don't have donuts.
No,
It's great.
I want it, but I can't if I do it. It's,
Yeah.
you know.
Can't stop.
hey,
stop,
hey,
yeah.
Gina. Okay, can you disconnect the microphone? I think
She can
disconnect
hear
it.
us.
Yeah, but we can't hear her until we disconnect the microphone. Gina, ¿puedes decir algo?
Hola,
¿Cómo estás?
bien, ¿y ustedes?
Bien, bien, ¿qué te pareció?
Bien, yo creo que hice unas preguntas, pero nadie me paró bola.
Oh, let's see if I can see the. Oh, there's some questions here.
El secretario no las vio.
Yeah, aunque los comparables tienen menos. What? Los square footage.
Square feet.
Even though the comparables have less square footage. On basement, igual se les
Cool.
descartas. O you still discard, porque tomas prioridad el que tienen basement. Okay, she's asking if I basically discard just because it has a basement. It depends on the situation. Because if you don't have any comps except for basements, then you have to include it and then you remove the value. that you're giving to the basement.
Okay.
Okay. And you know, whenever y'all are having, like, you're preparing the market analysis, you know, this is something that you get, I feel like you get better and better as you practice it.
Mhm.
Okay. Because sometimes I'm just like amazed. I'm like, wow, you know, I did it really fast, but it's because I'm always doing them. You know, so the more you practice, you'll see. And it's not, how would I say this? You have to look for patterns. You have to look for patterns, and that's where you're going to focus your attention. That's why I make it bolder, those things. Okay. So when you have issues, just let me know. Va a ser opcional que el listing agent comparta que el vendedor va a pagar comisión. It's going to be option for the listing agent to share if the seller is going to pay commission.
Bueno, ese fue un pensamiento que puse. Porque vi el post que tú enseñaste
Share,
y dice que van a adicionar
add the field. Uh-huh.
un field que dice
Yeah.
que es
Es-
una opción que el listing agent communicate that the seller may be willing to pay
Right.
compensation to the buyer's broker.
Well, we don't know exactly how it's going to be. We don't know if you're going to be able to put numbers in there. Okay. Or if it's only saying,
So,
reach out to me because the seller's willing, or put in your offer. You know, the seller might be willing to collaborate with commission, and it might just be a negotiable thing, like closing costs. You know, you ask
Mhm.
for the amount that you need.
yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, if you don't have any other questions, what time is it now? We're past 12,
12.
right?
12 or 8.
Okay. It's really helpful whenever you guys provide your questions in our Telegram group so that I can incorporate that when we get together. Okay. We're going to try to get together again, but mainly to do the role playing, answer questions, and like start feeling more confident about working with sellers. Okay. When is your your delivery, like, más o menos?
July 30.
July 30th. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, good deal. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Okay, you
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.